Series E.
Series E.
Series E, Apex Legends.
Apex Legends.
Series E.
Series E Apex Legends.
Series E Apex Legends starts right now. Welcome everybody to the Series E Season 2 qualifier number 3. We've already had Pony Gang and Farm Boys actually earning a spot for Series E Season 2. And now today we have another 20 teams competing for one more spot in Season 2. I'm Jamerson. I'll be bringing you all the action. Today we have a special guest, Tech. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Jamerson. How are you doing?
Yep, really excited to have you. I'm really excited. Of course, I watch a lot of your VODs. I watch you guys. I've been following you guys. I mean, you've been competing, since last, I want to say March, OT2, OT3? That was one of the first times we really got to see you. And,
OT3 was my first debut, OT3. So that was about March, I think, of last year.
Yeah, and since then, you've definitely been impressing us here. We've been seeing Two Brains, One Controller compete numerous times last season. Now you're joining on board with Team Rockstar. You've been playing with them for the last month or so. How's that been?
It's been great. We got third place in the last LGS. I think that was a couple of weekends ago. Running the Crypto, Watson Wraith. Unfortunately, Pickett's kind of caught up in some stuff over in London. So we're picking up Arcane for that. But we'll still be playing with Pickett for Team Rockstar for LGS. And we hope to continue doing good. So yeah.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about the format for today. Like I said, we have another 20 teams battling it out for another spot in Season 2 of Series E. And how are they going to do it? Well, it's going to be after 5 matches. They've already played 5 in their qualifiers, and now there's 5 more matches tonight for our finals. And it's the same point distribution system that we've been seeing, that we've known for Apex Legends for 2 years now. And so for first place, you will get 12 placement points all the way down to 15th place, which will get you 1, and every single kill point will net you 1 point as well. As for our prize pool, of course, earning a spot in Series E is definitely part of that. But also for being first place tonight, you'll be walking away with $700, and second place will be walking away with $300. So a lot on the line. $750 in terms of salary per player for the next 3 months. Also the ability to have some of arguably the best practice in North America. And Tech, I don't know if you got a chance to take a look at who will be competing tonight, but we have a lot of familiar names coming up.
Yeah, 2 teams I'm particularly interested in watching tonight are Flashpoint and Metro 6 and Tempest. I really love the comp that Metro 6 and Tempest are running, the Wraithless comp. I think what they have is the Caustic Gibby in the Crypto. I love the idea of the comp. I've wanted to try Wraithless comp for a while, but Wraithless comps can be pretty tricky. You either have to play Edge and be an aggressive Edge team looking for kills, or you can try your luck to be a early rotate team without a Wraith, but those waters kind of haven't been tested yet other than TSM. I think TSM has a lot of success running Wraithless because they have a central landing spot. So they're not going to need that portal too much for initial rotates. So we'll see how it pans out tonight. I'm pretty excited to see how they play.
Yeah, MST, particularly with any team that Six has been on, has been one that's really tested the waters in terms of team compositions and trying some things out. They've had, of course, mixed success with it. I'm really hoping to see if they could turn anything around. But like you said, Flashpoint is also another competitor that we've been seeing throughout Series E Season 1, who have performed particularly well, but so far have not been able to secure a spot quite yet. They'll have 2 more chances, that is including tonight. So we'll see if they can get things together. Now, I think one of the things that hasn't been working out for Flashpoint in terms of these qualifiers is that they haven't been able to get that central kind of landing spot for them to really prioritize that center zone for themselves. While usually they will probably try to drop frag west or frag east, I don't think in the last 2 weeks that they've been able to get those drop spots.
So I think they're swapping it up today, and they're going countdown. One thing I do notice off the bat is they're substituting the Gibby for the Watson. Kind of Watson was their key ingredient for a while, but I think with this shift in characters, especially this new Horizon Caustic, Horizon Gibby meta, where everyone's more aggressive, you're going to have a lot of these spots in zone that are more open. You're going to have rear rotates, but when you get to the spots and you're holding those spots down, you're going to have a much harder time because teams are going to look to aggress on you, and you're going to have a hard time fighting a Horizon Caustic team or a Horizon Gibby team with a Watson. I know a lot of the Gibby teams. I've watched a lot of VODs. Every time a Gibby Horizon team, any Gibby Caustic, any form of anything that's not Watson, anytime anybody sees a Watson team, they're always looking to make the calls to aggress on that team because it's an easy fight if you're coordinated enough. So I like the swap from the Watson, and I'm kind of excited to see how it pans out for them today.
All right, here we are into game number 1 on board with mouse and keyboard, and we do have a first look at the ring. Thank you to Moosin for bringing that up for us. It looks like it will be an overlook circle. Haven't been really able to see what kind of circles that we've been getting in terms of the algorithm, but there are plenty of different spots to try and play for here. But it looks like this one might be like just pulling all the way into overlook, not going over to the rocks. Quite hard to tell, but it looks like we do have a fight over here at Sorting Factory as Z Davis has been spotted out. On board with iNulls and decoys. There's an entire squad just below Z Davis as the bubble's already been used for the climb up, but he gets a good spray down with that R99. He's only got about 3 clips total left before he's forced to use that Q. It's Smile that's there, Sung, Onmu, and Lion. And Lion has taken away the high ground from him. iNulls is still trying to find that flank though at this point as Smile are trying to collect themselves. They are a little bit disconnected. We'll see if they can all 3 get onto the roof for now.
This looks like Z David's team is going to group up on the inside. They have triple whites, and I think Omni's team has 2 blues and a white, so they're not in the most favorable situation. Decoys gets his shields cracked. They pop the dog. They're going in. Z Davis climbing on the roof. Looks like they're going to triple stack on Z Davis. Sun gets knocked by decoys. It's now a 3v2 situation. They've actually been able to turn it around. The Wraith gets knocked 3v1. Z Davis getting healthy, and they actually managed to turn around. Pretty impressive. This fight didn't look favorable in their start of the fight there, but they're able to turn it around. So very impressive.
Yeah, and so after that fight, though, their rotate is a little bit slower. We are now down to 50 seconds before the ring starts closing in, and even though they are in centralized location, a lot of teams are going to be starting to make their rotating path through the center of the map, going through Harvester, going through Geyser here as we join on board with Team Superior. That's going to be Prodigy Aces, Rakanishu, and Kotagami making their way over to No Name. They can just stop off at this building, try to maybe play the edge and control this building for that beacon. It looks like another squad has that in mind. Kotagami with the triple take will get the kill, and here we go with that gravity lift. Moosin will actually help them out and get that thirst for them, but Prodigy Aces has to be careful. Just down low, Rakanishu's been cracked as well as Kotagami is on the front lines in that bubble, and they take out that squad. Now they have to reset. They do have the armor swaps, but Kotagami still has to heal up. A duo now on that door as they've been thermited off. Kotagami's barrels will buy enough time for Team Superior to fully reset, find a good angle, and 6 helps out getting the knock onto Legit. So a lot of teams involved in this fight now.
This is a great example of why Caustic is amazing. They take a 3v3, they clean wipe. There's another team already in No Name while they're fighting, and they're able to get the clean wipe, put some barrels down, gas down, and get a reset. Even with all their shields lost, they're still able to reset, stabilize, and look to turn the fight again.
Oh, Prodigy Aces does have to be careful. He was able to get the knock onto Mike Lav, but unfortunately has to fall back, and they might have gotten out safely here. So a lot of Horizons being used now, as we're seeing her become more and more favorable. Back on board with Texas, Z, Davis, iNulls, and Decoys now are starting to make their rotate. But here on the edges of Harvester, they have found another team ahead of them. That squad has completely given this position up and fallen back now, as it looks like MST are getting into a fight with Zaniles. They've already taken them out. That's going to be the charge rifle coming out from Metro. Oh boy, big fight taking place over here by No Name, just north of it, as Season are trying to push in, and MNK are out. That's going to be Frex, Clarify, and Zaniles. And so at this point, Season just will be able to back away from this. A portal has been used from that position as well to get them more into center zone. MST just looking on from the south there. Poking away is Six. He's got the G7 Scout, but not that much ammo behind it there, as the Black Hole has been used on top of Team Superior to take out Mike Lav and Clinical. It looks like, no, it was their Black Hole used along with that Nox Gas Grenade, the big Wombo combo coming in to finish that off. We're already down to 15 squads here, 45 players. Now, with Overlook zones, I'm already, the pace of the game typically does accelerate a little bit with Overlook zones, but this is pretty insane.
Looks like over in Refinery, you have two teams fighting right now on the very edge of map. They're going to be grouping on the north side of Beacon. One team is going to be sitting at the top of Refinery, and it looks like they're kind of just going to throw shots at each other and peek. Nothing crazy too happening. Looks like they might kind of back away. Choose not to fight, though. If they wanted to, they could take an isolated fight on this side of the circle here. Choosy Potato, Proficiency, and Neat Serious Help. 2 purples and a blue.
Oh boy, what happened? Breakfast Club actually wiping out Season. And Metro able to get the knock onto RKN as well. It's some nobodies. Bait, Protectful, and Skittle Cakes. They're controlling the platform, the drop-down platform above the train tracks just outside of Overlook. Currently, they've got a lot of boxes to work with and hold this position now, as they do notice a defensive bombardment being used to their western edge, but Skittles is taking a lot of damage, and he is forced to full heal up. Fate, though, with the Spitfire from range, has to be careful and backs away off of this one, as he has to heal up as well. 13 squads, 39 players. Ring number 1 hasn't even finished closing yet.
So MST is in a great spot here. They have a lot of potential to gatekeep all the kills in No Name. The only question is, if this circle does pull to the northeast side of the circle, what's going to be their route for this? Are they going to opt to route towards Epicenter and then wrap around to the north side? Are they going to go direct? If I were them, I'd probably look to do exactly what they're doing, start going to the north side of the circle and get a clean rotate, a non-contested rotate. They're probably able to do this while there's 13 squads left. Looks like Dudes Night Out is fighting over at the north sorting compound. They're going to be able to probably gatekeep this team here. 2.5 minutes on circle close. So let's see what they'll do here.
Yeah, it looks like they're electing to give up that position and start moving in now, as we have another fight taking place over at Refinery. Milkman involved in this one currently, backing away with that Wraith portal as Ava does get cracked, backs up to pop that battery for the time being. We'll have another scan in 10 seconds. That's when maybe they make their move on board with Team Superior, who are creeping their way up and closer over towards Overlook for now. As you can see, the ring continuing to pull over to the east side. But like you said, there's an opportunity for it to go more north than Overlook, as Dudes Night Out have now elected to play over at the Geyser Tunnel here. And of course, with this Caustic, they can play off of that, but instead they're hunting for the kills. They've got tracks. They're 50 seconds old. This team could be anywhere, could have tried to back away completely, or have already moved through and up. We'll find out in just a moment. Oh.
Looks like they got a vault key. I was kind of curious what they were doing back here out of zone. I thought maybe that they had seen a team that they were chasing, but it looks like they kind of just wrap out of zone to get a vault key, get a little bit more gear, and they're probably just going to go back around in No Name, work from edge there. Maybe they'll look to take a fight in No Name, pick up some KP along the rotate, get a little bit more geared to make themselves in a more favorable position for the end game.
MST have worked their way up towards Epicenter, going that routing that you were talking about just beforehand, Tech, to maybe wrap up towards Refinery. As this ring does pull up, we can look at that in just a moment. They are in the middle of a small skirmish, though. Tempest has that high ground position for himself, which typically I would say is a good spot, but with all the horizons that are in play, it's not as safe as it used to be. Luckily for them, it's Raised by Wolves, who are not running a horizon currently. And so he will be safe up there for some time. He does get hit with the headshot from that R301. As Clicker will just go ahead and back away from this spot. I don't want to try and push that high ground position. Dudes Night Out still inside the tunnel as they do get scanned up. Aves probably going to give them a nice little welcome back scan, as they do spot out the full 3-man squad playing inside the Beacon building.
It's great that you mentioned the point about the Horizon earlier. Previously, pre-Horizon meta, you'd have a high ground spot and you'd have no worry in the world about a team contesting you. The teams below you are going to have the easiest kills of your life, but now it's going to take a little bit for teams to adapt to Horizon. They're going to be able to watch all their angles, because if you're not careful enough, your team's going to Horizon tack up on you and you're going to be in for a bad day.
Right now, Metro still playing over, or MST still playing over at Epicenter here, and we might actually have a collapse of a good number of teams coming this way. We've got the Godly Daddies who are getting naded out from below, and they might get funneled over towards Epicenter right now as Ikari does get cracked, and he's going to slow heal this one up. Cobed is still sitting on a white armor, unfortunate for himself, as it doesn't seem like they're bringing too much long range. I mean, we got the double SMG for Gabriel. He's got the R99 volts. We don't see that used in conjunction quite often, especially here on the Bloodhound. He does spot out one just below them. That has to be MST. Another scan to their east, spotting out another squad. And so they have to bide their time in how they want to approach this. If they drop down, they are committing into the sandwich at this point. CNE controlling the rocks to the north, just east of Epicenter right now, but they've got another squad to contend with. D Proficiency tries to push up, but he's got to use that bubble early on, as defensive bombardment has been used as well by Crook. And as soon as that bubble goes down, you'll see Hero, Ava, and the rest of the Milkmen start to make their advance. We do have that Horizon Cube being used now as they push forward. Defensive bubble on the other side. 45 almost getting the crack, but Hero will get the knock on to Proficiency. CNE losing out on 2 already, only trading for the 1 as the Milkmen will win that up. They still need to get Ava back up, but he is getting thirsted by somebody. And it looks like they're not going to have the clean reset coming out, as they already used the bubble, and that's about on another 10-second cooldown for them.
Looks like that was a huge third party by 6. They're able to capitalize on Milkman and CNE fighting, and now this was a huge fight to take. They made a good decision to wrap on this side of the circle, get all this loot, and now they have an isolated side of the zone where they can just walk in from edge. Now they have their black backs. It looks like they're going to take another fight from a 4th team that's rolling up on them. It's going to be Godly Daddies. Gabriel gets a shield crack. Gabriel's about to go down. He's literally 10 HP. He knocks down Tempest. Duplex going down in the kill feed as well. It's like the 3v1 situation. Looks like 6 is the last one alive. He's down on 70 HP. 3v1. They're going to clean wipe that. No one goes knocked. They need to stabilize, make sure no one's around. And it looks like it's going to be a good fight for them. Abe's fighting in East Bragg. Dupe goes down. Rollies to 10 HP. And looks like they lose to Sweaties only.
Man, lots of fights going on right now, Tech. Yeah. We're down to 9 squads, by the way, with 25 players remaining in the lobby. So it might be a solo rats or just 2 teams of duos. We'll figure that one out in just a moment. As raised by Wolves, one of the teams that were playing towards that Epicenter side have been able to maintain this position. Clicker getting himself a free purple off of that roll drop as well now. They have some additional loot to pick up, as this ring, it's starting to look like it's going to be pulling away from Overlook, going toward the rocks just north of it, Tech.
Now, this is one of the great things about being a zone team. If you pull up the map, you'll see that there's 1 team in the center of the zone, and there's probably about 5 to 6 on the outskirts here. So if you can make the zone, you're in a great position. But if you're not, you're going to be having some trouble. Looks like Raised by Wolves taking a fight on Blight's team. Kenny goes down, Blight goes down. It's going to be a 3v1 situation against a Bloodhound. 122 on that Bloodhound. And he's not going to be having a bad day. And that's a clean wipe. That team probably wasn't expecting the team on the hill. Kind of caught off guard a little bit there. Sorry about that. And they're going to be able to get all this loot. 7 squads left. They're going to have an easy rotate into zone here. And they're going to be pretty happy about that.
Wow, take a look at the ring pull coming out. It's going up towards the trucks just south of Refinery. And it's currently Breakfast Club that actually have positioning on it. They've got the buildings, they've got the Watson setup as well, but they have to be careful. There is another squad just to their west right now who are getting shot by, raised by wolves, it looks like. And that team is now stuck inside the trailer, and they're just going to bleed out. Oh, this is just free KP.
You're going to look at the top knocks on C. Davis and Knowles. They're kind of getting farmed across the map, so you want to be careful not to get knocked here to give people incentive to push and lose their spot and come kill you for some more KP. Looks like Kerr's going to take an 1v1, and they're going to be able to wipe that squad. Raised by Wolves picking up KP on the edge here. 6 squads left. They're going to be looking good to rotate into this next circle here. He's getting sniped from Overlook. Rakanishu going in for the 3rd party behind them. Looks like they didn't account for that. And they're going to be in position for trouble here.
Superior are right there on top of them. You got the black hole. Rakanishu getting the knock onto Clicker. And raised by Wolves. They were running through the edge here, but now The ultimate 4th, 5th, 6th party? I don't even know. I've already lost track. Have come in. Team Superior picked this one up, and we've already known they've already won out in 2 team fights. This is their 3rd one now. And so they have about 7, maybe 8 kill points to their name currently. We're down to our top 7 squads as well. So these placement points will just continue to increase by a good portion every single team you survive over, as Team Superior, with a minute to go, still have a number of options for this rotate.
I'd like to see these teams on edge take a little bit more time to decide if the fights they're taking, the fights with third party, are smart, because it may seem in the moment a great decision, but if you tunnel on these third parties and there's a team trailing behind you, you're not going to have a good day. So I'd like to see these teams take a step back, analyze their surroundings, make sure it's a good fight, and commit on it, because I'm sure if Raised by Wolves just took an extra second to look behind them towards the no-name side, they would have seen Prodigy Aces and them trailing behind them.
Yeah, it's currently Team Some Nobodies who have the rock position just north of Overlook right now. A lot of it is in. We don't have a scan, I don't believe, from any of our squads quite yet. Some Nobodies can do a little bit something about their barrels. They have a lot placed down in the buildings behind them. Right now, the rocks around them, I think, is a bit more of a concern. 7 squads, 17 players remaining. We're missing out on 4 players, so that could be 2 rats running around, or maybe 4 teams that are just down to duo. We'll find out in just a moment as Team Superior find themselves in another fight. Prodigy Aces. Oh boy, took way too long in the air. Got a little bit too big for his britches, but it looks like the res will come out from Kotagami, and he will back up as Rakanishu. Good job of staying on that high ground, but oh boy, here comes the finish out. Gabriel comes in. That's the re-knock. Rakanishu does answer back, taking out Scissors, and they will fall. They survive for now, but for how long? Oh, there's the bleed out. Kotagami going down to the ring. Team Superior go down in 5th place. We are now down to our top 4 squads. Might just be one solo here, as we have 10 players remaining. And it looks like
some
was Raised by Wolves actually surviving with the rat. Corn and P making his way all the way to the top 4. At the very least, we are now down to our top 3 squads in the 5th ring here, Tech.
Some Nobodies are in a great position for the circle. They're not in, though, but they have the entire northeast side of the circle to themselves. They'll be able to gatekeep here. They'll be able to scan from across the map. Skittlecakes has a charge rifle. They'll be able to get a lot of information, a lot of damage walking into zone here. And it looks like they'll be able to just walk in for free while the other teams look to fight each other. And this is looking very favorable for them.
Yeah, I like how Skittlecakes is playing this. While he has his Wraith and his Bloodhound up ahead, he's still making sure that he's watching the flank, you know, doing his due diligence, as we have the Godly Daddies here playing on the western edge. And so we do have the center team, but they might get sandwiched on. They are safe inside that caravan for now. Gabriel able to get some decent shots off with that R301, but the zone will start closing in on them in 15 seconds with some cover to work with, and they're on the slower side of the zone, but this ring still closes in about 25-30 seconds, and so they'll have to make some moves here.
So this is starting to look a little tricky for Nobodies, depending on how much cover they have. They might be able to build a wall of caustic barrels to help them stall time. If they can do that, they'll be able to buy themselves about 30 to 40 seconds with those barrels there to allow the teams to make a move on each other and forcing each other. So it looks like EMP is going down, and they're able to just walk up and get free charge rifle shots. Gibby ult's going down. It's chaos. They're getting forced on. This looks like it's going to be a free win for some Nobodies. Watson Gen goes down. They're all healthy, playing right outside their cart. The fight actually stabilizes and stalls, and no one's doing anything. This is very surprising. Everyone's stabilizing. No one's making the first move. Teams are playing this very smart. Nice shots by Gabriel there.
It looks like they dropped down from that high ground position instead of just waiting for the trades here for that third party. Might have gotten a little bit over aggressive as Gabriel dropping down low, as Breakfast Club have pushed out from their car for now. The portal has been used. Nades gets the knock, but we'll see if it's going to be enough. Oh, Wizzy has fallen as well, as Gabriel gets finished off by nades, and so they will have that armor swap. That's the trades they were looking for on the other side, coming in to finish this one off. It will be Some Nobodies taking game number 1 of the night.
That's going to be a big game for them. I would have liked to see
Yeah,
some
I
nobody's
mean,
take that a little bit slower at the end there, just to be on the side of more safe rather than take that big risk, because these two teams were going to be forced to fight before you did, but it looks like their aggression paid off in the end there. So
yeah, we were talking about their positioning just beforehand. It was the final three squads. They actually had enough of that plateau to work with with a small pocket in the back. And when I saw them starting to push up towards that fence, I was a little bit nervous for them. But luckily, Nades did push out for them, created the opening. They got the trades, and then you saw instantly they took advantage, taking the W. But it's by how much here in game number one. We're going to allow our admins to go ahead and tally up the scores. When we get back, we'll update you with that, and then we'll have game number 2 of the night. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. to Series E as I've got a special guest tonight, of course, Tech joining for the broadcast. We had a fantastic game number one where Team Some Nobodies ended up taking it an 8 kill point win with that plus 12, setting themselves in first place currently after one game with 20 points. But a lot of teams are just right behind them here as we can take a look at the Mobile One leaderboard. Breakfast Club in second place with 14 points. And then the Godly Daddies, along with Team Superior, tied for third place with 13 points, but Raised by Wolves were fragging out as well and got themselves up to fifth.
One of the notable things to look at here, the leaderboard, is the team in second place. They were running a Watson Crypto Wraith team. They were the only rotate early composition. And in the top 5, you have 4 other teams that are playing a heavy, aggressive edge comp. So it's interesting to see how that's going to pan out for the rest of the sport today.
Early fights, Geyser Gunners in a fight here as Klinkle's already gone down. Legit might be the next one to fall, but Mike Lav has traded back. Now it is going to be a 1v2, I believe here. Mike Lav backs away. He will go ahead and cut off that entrance with that Q for the very least, and his teammates can try to use it to get away to some sort of different safety and not get thirsted here, because we do have one person, Geyser, redeploying away, and we had someone to his south as well, Mike Lav, electing to actually go towards the skies to chase after someone. I'm not entirely too sure.
That was actually
exactly
very interesting what's going on. It was a 1v2 situation, and both teams decided to run. I'm not sure what happened there, leaving kind of both of their down players to bleed out in Geyser. It was very, very interesting play by both teams.
Yeah, I'm confused as well. On move fighting Z Davis, though, as that was the fight that was taking place, I believe, over at Sorting Factory in game number 1, and is continuing once again this 50-50 over a center position. And the early drop, Einels does get finished off, and Team Smile, I believe, have gotten 2 kills so far off the rip here. So Z Davis and company not happy with this one. That's kind of what happens when you take these 50-50s.
That's why they call them 50-50s. It's RNG. You know, sometimes gun skill comes into it, but at the end of the day, it's a 50-50 for a reason. They're going to leave Knowles up to as a solo. We'll see if people to get banners and ride it out.
Oh, we do have a fight over here at Frag West, though. It's We Know Shroud, KB Neutron, Android Dream, Slim Daddy Bones, Synced coming in there as they are running that Horizon composition. The gravity lift has been used. The flatline with a 3x did some decent damage, but was not able to get the critical damage here as they do back away into this building. Decoys does get finished off, and so that squad is out now. We're down to 19 squads as the nade spam does come in from Synced. No damage quite yet, as we do have the Gibby backing away towards Market. And we haven't been able to talk about the ring quite yet. There's been a lot of action so far. Looks like it might be a fairly centralized zone.
I like this disengage by We Know Shroud. They realize there's a team creeping up behind them. There's another team coming in from the west side. It might be an East Frags ending because there's a lot of teams coming to zone right now. So props to them to realize that, not to take a fight too early and get themselves third-parted and eliminated at the start of the game here. So they're kind of in a pretty tricky situation here without a Wraith. They're stuck in the middle of Market. Caustic Guy swing down. Gibby Neutron losing his armor down to 80 HP. Android losing his armor down to 70 HP. They're all getting really weak. They're in a sticky situation. They need to figure out how to get out of here. They have no portal, no bubble. They're going to be stuck here for a little bit, so let's see how they manage to play this out here.
Yeah, it was Raised by Wolves that they were initially trying to hunt down here as Sync is forced to bat once again. Sandwich taking place over here by the marketplace as Raised by Wolves are trying to find themselves an angle, and oh boy, 2 people peek on outs. Clicker with that R301 doing some decent damage, forcing them back. Android Dream almost going down. He's trying his best to heal up once again, hitting that med kit for now. He's almost on critical HP. Raised by Wolves finally showing the blood there in the Market. Try to push up, but Clicker gets tagged up along with Cornin. He has to back away off of this one with the Q. Android Dream finally goes down. It's M and K that are on the other side of this fight.
And this is one of the things about having your beacon scan character. If you're having a beacon scan character, you need to make sure you're scanning beacon at the start of the game so you don't run into things like this. I don't think We Know Shroud was expecting this zone pull, and they were looking to just hunt some KP at the start of the game, but it turns out the entire lobby was looking to join. It's like Frex is going to be able to isolate this Horizon here, taking down Slim Daddy Bones. And they're able to wipe the rest of We Know Shroud just like that. Triple purples, they're looking good. Scans going down, 3 hostiles detected, raised by wolves. They're probably looking to disengage here. Just kind of get out of East Frag, just stabilize. They don't make too much more sound. And looks like everyone's able to stabilize.
Yeah, they probably took everything that they needed already, so not missing out on too much loot. But Smile are finding themselves in another engagement, not able to make their way out of Sorting Factory quite yet, as a port is being laid down by Lion to get them into the circle building. One team currently holding that high ground position on the north side of Sorting Factory. They do safely make it into the circle building. They want to continue to try and disengage off of this one and get further back away, quite possibly. There we go. Sung spots them all out, and it looks like they are leaving in a good time. The third party is coming in from behind them as well. So a great disengage, but it's Team Season finding themselves in a fight once again. Underneath over here at Overlook, Clane goes for the peek. He's done so much damage, but AIDS is there, getting the knock. And now it's a 1v3 RKN left by himself, backing away. Playing with that Gibraltar, unfortunately, while he did have that defensive bombardment, they were inside of a tunnel the entire time.
That was quite unfortunate for Season there. It actually does look like Circle's going to be pulling to hard Overlook this time, very similar to last game. Teams 10 looks like they're playing a zone a lot harder this time, so that's good to see. Good to see. Breakfast Club.
Yeah, we're
looking. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I apologize. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're on board with Team Superior, and you're calling that hard pull over to Overlook, as we do have a better idea on the map. Team Superior were able to get that information for us, but they are stuck over here on Godspot and T1 at this point, as they are trying to make their way in. They might be committed, it looks like, with Prodigy Aces positioning all the way in the back for these squads that are making their rotate through No Name right now.
Team Superior with triple white, I think they land at Lava City, so they must have just looted really quickly. Maybe they were a little unlucky with the RNG of the loot there, but they opted to play zone this game, and they have a pretty good position for the circle. So if they can work their way in, maybe play some of the east side Overlook, they'll be in a really good position to win this game, even with 3 whites.
Team Cruelty that are in the main back buildings over here at Overlook. A lot of fighting taking place. You can see getting some decent damage off. But there's another squad below them as well. Yuban will not be able to commit onto anything. It's Flashpoints who have found themselves inside Overlook proper, and they've got that crypto. There are beacons around for them as well. And he's getting himself good information, trying to see if they can try to get any further here. Team Cruelty taking up a lot of real estate, most of the position in the back there. You join on board with Dude's Night Out. They've got an entire squad above them right now. Defensive bombardment will come down from Rolders. And that will force that team back. Duplex pops the barrel for himself as he climbs up right into a Gibraltar bubble, but he has to be careful because all 3 members were staring straight at him. Dude's Night Out just elect to stay in this position. They need to start getting barrels. They need to start controlling these doors a little bit better. Duplex is going to try and go for another angle as a scan comes out from Aves. We'll see if he can climb up. The drop down has come down to 1 player, but they are not team firing onto him. Pushing forward, Aves gets hit. Oh, no. He has to be careful. Oh boy, that arc star was huge. Onmu now pushing up, and Dude's Night Out. 116 coming out from Aves. Is it going to be enough? No, Onmu gets another knock here. And now it's down to a 1v1 as Duplex has been able to full heal, and he will start chasing after him with that Spitfire. Has forced out that bubble, but he hasn't been able to play around it well. It was a 1v2 actually. Zonmu finishes this one off. Lion was healthy throughout all of that. Now they just need to get Sung up.
That was a very unfortunate stick onto Rolders there. That was the kind of turning point of that fight there. Luckily, they were able to clean wipe that and get a reset. Looks like no one's going to be around a third party, so they're going to be sitting pretty good with loot, and they're going to be pretty happy for the circle.
Yeah, they have 55 seconds left to go before the ring starts closing, and we know it goes over towards that East Frag zone. They're not too far, over towards Overlook, but East Frag is still in, and doesn't look like there'll be too much opposition. There is a team in East Frag. There's a team that's playing over at that Vault Tunnel, and 2 teams currently over at No Name. So they can bide their time as the rotates come through. Flashpoint now still playing with that crypto. They're able to get that ring information for us, and it is a hard pull into Overlook right now. So Team Cruelty, one of the best spots in the game currently.
One of the things I'd like to see right now is Flashpoint looking to scout that dome building. Usually that's free because the teams in Overlook usually have either side of the building, so if they can scout those and get a spot into zone, they will be able to guarantee themselves a top 5 spot from that position. Looks like C needs to be taking a fight over here in the north side of the circle. 2 blues and a purple shield. Bubble goes down on both sides. Could be ult going down. 70 damage on the Wraith.
Potato did, but it's Milkmen losing out on 1, losing out on 2, and Milkmen are out. C and E. They're able to survive for now, but they need to reset. They're getting the res onto Cheesy Potato. They need to fully heal up here, but the northern side of the zone, and a lot of teams have already focused on trying to get into Overlook, so they're not meeting much resistance at all. There's some long-range shots coming out. They get the safe reset and survive for now. On board with Skittle Cakes, Protectful, and Fate currently, who are playing that zip platform just outside of Overlook. It's raised by wolves below them, but they are getting challenged as they try to push into that position. The full Watson composition in there. Nade's getting that first knock onto Clicker, and Wizzy will be able to get that thirst onto him as well. Raised by wolves, so just go ahead and pick up that banner and get out of there as a full send comes out. Fate gets punished, and Breakfast Club, oh boy, are starting to swat away this push. They have lost out on 1, so it's a 1-for-1 exchange. Make that a 2-for-1 exchange, and now Breakfast Club are on the back burner here as Wizzy is the only one surviving. Not for long. Tactful finishes that one off with the help of Skittle Cakes, and it looks like that push was good. Coming out from some nobodies here is Skittle Cakes, Tactful, and Fate will be able to survive throughout this one, get the res as well onto Fate.
That was a very unfortunate fight there from that first team. I guarantee they weren't expecting the team to drop above them on that fight for the third party, but that was a great call, able to clean out both teams. I think the first team actually was able to get away as a duo, so they were able to collect all this loot. They kind of benefited off what that first team deciding to make that decision to fight there, capitalize on that mistake.
They did get hit up by something. I don't know by whom, but they might have another team deciding to try and push up. But yeah, it looks like there was just enough distraction by Raised by Wolves for them to come in. And typically, I wouldn't make this call. Everyone jumped down from that same tunnel. You end up being forced into basically just one position here, but it looked like no one was really keeping tabs of that. Godly Daddies, though, it looks like they might have Raised by Wolves in their sights currently. And Kari getting tagged up by a team over at Epicenter. Now another team shooting at them as well as they're forced into the No Name trailer, or the trailer just north of No Name currently. Do have a team, I believe, still playing, maybe 2 squads still playing over by No Name. I don't know if that one squad that was playing inside the tunnel is still there, and it looks like they are. So we have a lot of funneling here on the southwest side of the zone.
So one of the things I'd like to see teams start doing now is decide what side of the circle they're going to play on. Are they going to play towards the No-Name side, or are they going to wrap towards Epi side on the north side of the circle like we saw last game? Looks like the Godly Daddy is actually going to get pushed from the east frag side. Gas going down, nades going down, everyone's done. Kobe gets his shield cracked. The Wraiths are going to opt to portal out into tunnel. It's going to be a blind portal, so we'll see how it plays out. Kobe's down to 30 HP. He takes the portal. They might bump into another team into the tunnel here, and this is not going to be good for them, but it's kind of a last resort play. And it looks like they'll be okay. Watson fence is down. That is probably the Watson fences from the first team. So I think this might have panned out for them. Actually,
here's the drop down.
I think they were just dropped on by Skittle Cakes.
Oh man, they're picking up so much KP here in this position. Great decision to just drop down. Good awareness of that. Now they don't have the bubble, they don't have the port, and so they should get cleaned up. That's 2 members down. They will get finished off as well. So great heads-up decision-making coming out from this squad.
And they're just farming kills down here in the tunnel, just waiting on that Bloodhound scans, waiting on these enemies that aren't expecting to drop and farm these KP. Looks like Smile's going to be in a fight here in No Name. Triple purple. Sung needs to heal a little bit before making any decisions. They need to let his teammates do the peeking for him while he heals and then go off of that first. He's not going to opt to heal. I don't like this play. He could have healed at least 3 times by now. But I think it's just a little of the nerve settling. Nice little shot on the Gibby there. Arcs go down on the doors. Thermite goes down on the doors. Everyone's kind of just stabilized here. I'd like to see a flank from the Lion. Lion goes in on the backside, burning down inside with the blue shield. Gibby arm shielding the door there. Sung is going to go for the flank. Bubble goes down. They're distracted by the Thermites in the back. 3 shots in the massive. They give you the back. Oh, Sung gets 2 pumped right there. Omni gets a nice
Oh,
smash
but
shot, so it's a
Onbu.
2v2 situation.
Yeah, in the armored situation though, not looking great. Lion down to 1 HP. It's all up to Onbu here. As he goes in for that repeat, by the third party comes in, and now MNK are going to be able to pick up all these kill points for themselves here in the 1v3. Clarify takes a lot of damage along with Frex here, but they do take him out and they survive. And now, oh, it looks like they will be able to get him first as well, as Frex does go down to Tech, but he ultimately went out on this one. Currently, the kill leader in the lobby is the Niles with 5. We're down to 9 squads remaining, 26 players. So, Raised by Wolves, maybe, might be the squad that was just never able to recover and get that res quite yet. This is who they are below them. They do have another team trying to make their push in, but MNK have already fully reset, as the barrels have been popped as well, buying them just enough times. The Niles coming in for the swing, as he sees one person climbing up the fences, but maybe just not in time. Instead, they're going to elect to go for all of this loot first, as you have a better idea of where this ring is going. Like you said, it is going towards straight on Overlook, and Team Superior are still in a decent position to play off of this ring. If they were alive, that is.
If they were alive, that's correct. Looks like Katagami goes down. It's going to be Rakanisha left alive, last one alive. He's probably going to maybe be able to escape barely. He's looking like he's going to be able to solo rat for the rest of the game here. We'll see how far he goes up the circle, but probably not very far. MNK has a pretty good rotate into the circle. As long as the team's not gatekeeping them too hard, they'll probably end up 3v3ing here. So let's see how this plays out here. They're all going to get healthy for this rotate. One team gatekeeping them pretty hard. I'd like to see what team is gatekeeping them right now.
Ooh. And there's a portal in front of them as where it's Flashpoint playing on this position, as they do have to be careful. Now the barrels have been put down, and it's not even their barrels, by the way, from either side. And so MNK are electing to try and completely avoid them here. They've got these blue bins to work off of for now, but Zaniles is getting hit up from a different angle. He needs to pop into that Q. It's too late. Panders gets the knock onto him. And Flashpoints now playing off their bubble, just waiting for more and more to come in. But oh my goodness, Frax is able to at least trade away the EVA 8, not working out too well for Panders, as he even gets melee throughout all that. He needs to connect with his shots, and he finally will. Frax gets finished off, but here comes Clarify to help out. And so while they do lose out on one, they pick up more kill points. Kupski finally falls there. And who was that to? It was to Moosin. And so at this point now, it's going to be Team O2, Protectful Fate, and Skittlecakes once again, top 4. And it's full healthy squads on all sides as the ring continues to pull down and will pull away over to these yellow tanks.
And this is going to be a great game for Skittlecakes, Protectful, and Fate. They're probably going to be able to secure a top 2 finish here. Cruelty sitting on top of Yellow Silos is probably going to be able to get the dub here, assuming they play everything right. They're actually running the Octane. What do you think about this Octane pick, Jamerson?
Horizon does everything Octane can, but better. I would say the positional movement, you know, the team positional movement, you don't have to wait, what is it, like 90 seconds, 2 minutes for an ultimate. Instead, it's just every 25 seconds for the Q, and you have this high ground instead. But, you know, I guess you could try it, but I'd much rather see a Horizon instead.
Very fair, very fair. One of the position or points that people have been making is Octane is on I think the jump pad's on a 60-second cooldown, so you can make these incredibly fast rotates to get to zone as a counter argument to that.
Oh boy, here's CNE trying to take the high ground away from them. This is a little bit too far away though, but good shots coming out from Proficiency. The dome has been used from either side as the defensive bombardment is utilized as well. That's being popped by Proficiency and needs some serious help. Now, looks like he does get hacked a little bit. Oh boy, the Arc Star will take him out. It's MST now activating themselves, getting involved in this fight, getting the knock, but Team Cruelty have answered back from that high ground position, getting the knock on to Tempest now. And MST were trying to bide their time. Tempest going down here. Things are not looking great. It looks like Team Cruelty might just have the position to finish this one off, but no, the ring, actually we have to consider that. The final one going to be pulling towards that center. And so you have Skittlecakes, Fate, and Protectful setting up a crossfire already, waiting for Team Cruelty to come down. Cheese Potato did get rezzed up as he tries to go for an all-in play, almost getting the knock onto Scissors, but not quite. He will fall himself. Tempest was recovered throughout all of that. The bubble has been used for the fast reset. Scissors has not healed up quite yet. Moosin still being a nuisance with this G7 scout. It's allowing everyone else to come in now, though, from the north-hand side as Fate and company are trying to get involved. Fate has to be careful. He's getting challenged by 6, who does back away. So MST have been able to full recover here. They still need to heal up Tempest and Metro for their health, but playing this low ground position, they should be able to, as Team Cruelty are not going to elect to peek down on them. It doesn't even look like they have any heals.
No, it doesn't. They actually were in the most favorable position for the circle, but I think due to their lack of their med situation, this probably looks like a top 2 finish for them. I think what they have to do is they have to sit on top as long as possible and let the team underneath walk out so they can get killed by Protectful's team and play for second place. I think what they need to do is walk out, Gibby bubble, and stall for as long as they can because they have absolutely no meds. It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out.
Maybe they try to go for like that path situation where you use the jump pad and use the jump portion of it where you stay higher in the air to delay the drop down. They can even go over to the other yellow silo to delay this drop down even further, waiting for MST to engage on Fate and Protectful there. But with the slow zone moving on in, we'll see exactly what the teams decide to do. Arcstar's already coming down onto 6. The bubble has been used for this move. MST now, though, they've only got about 6 more seconds. EMP will be used by Tempest right on top of Protectable and then forcing them back. Good Thermite connecting in as well as 6 is able to throw in that one. Doing a lot of damage, trying to get the barrels in, but he is now down to critical HP. Team Cruelty might be able to turn this one around as they take out MST, but big recovery coming out from the other side. Team Cruelty still haven't been able to heal yet. As you can see, a lot of damage going across. Scissors tries to go for that peak. They've already gotten 1 knock, I believe, or 1 knock on the other side. But Yuban now left with 1 HP will go down. They secured themselves the top 2, but it's going to be Team O2 taking the win.
It's very unfortunate for Yuban seeing that they did not have any meds there. If they had any form of fashion of meds there, well, they would have easily secured the dub there. But unfortunately, they were only able to secure second place there from arguably the most dominant position in that circle.
And that's one of the issues, right? When you're running that kind of center zone, or when the zone just ends up right there and you're able to get that position early on, your economy, typically suffers. And that is what happened. But they did get themselves a top 2 finish at the very least. That's going to be a +9, along with some additional kill points there in the end game. So that was just game number 2. We've got 3 more to go. We're going to take a short break. And when we get back, we'll have more of the Series E Season 2 qualifiers right after this.
To make the ultimate gaming mouse, it needs speed and stability. It needs to be precise and instinctive. It needs to be light but strong. It needs to be reliable and swift. It needs to last. It needs to be ready. It needs a name.
Hey, shake it, kiddo. Love that. Oh.
I've got this. Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats. A little love when it's needed.
back, guys, to Series E. We've already concluded 2 games so far out of the 5 that we'll be playing tonight, and some nobodies have gone back to back now. This time around with a 24-point game for themselves, find themselves in the lead currently, 44 points in first place. After that, Team Superior, Breakfast Club. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One leaderboard to show all of our viewers at home. So some nobodies, like I said, currently in first place with 44 points. Team Superior there in second place with 19. Breakfast Club, MST, Cruelty, Raised by Wolves, all trailing behind. There's a pretty decent lead heading into games 3, 4, and 5, Tech.
That's a great lead. That's a 25-point lead. Keep in mind here that usually top 3 is averaging 10 points a game. So over 5 points, by the time you have 50 points, if you have 50 points after game number 5, you're almost always going to guarantee yourself a top 3. And the fact that they're 6 points off of 50 points by game 2 is incredible for them. So if they just perform average, get consistent points, they'll be great.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One high performance moment from the last game there. As there were a lot, as we'll get it eventually, guys. Moment. Yeah, I think it might be that last, quite possibly, team fight. There we go, high performance moment, and it is that final team fight. And we get a better view of it as we do have that third party perspective. You can see Team Cruelty biding their time as MST just full commit onto this push to the squad below them.
I think Musing gets the shield swap there. That's what we were talking about earlier. Yubin goes for the shield swap here, and it looks like his teammate used it. So if that shield swap wasn't used, they're probably able to 3v2 here, but they just had no meds for the situation. Great shots, but it just wasn't enough, unfortunately. Looks like MSC was able to play behind a knockdown shield for that fight, so make it a little bit easier for them. If there was no knockdown shield there, I think they win that 3v2 pretty easily, even with no meds on their side. But great shots all around from both teams.
We also had like the full commit coming out from MST, right? Only one person actually dropping was Metro that died out in the open, which allowed them Moosin to get that armor swap. But everyone else, you can see those 2 death boxes are stuck all the way in that corner, allowing some nobodies to get the armor swaps that play in the corner. Even though it was a 2v3 at this point, effective HP, it was basically the same. It was like 200 versus 200 HP on either side. Or 400 versus 400 HP, excuse me. But here we go, heading into game number 3, and it's Team Some Nobodies currently in the lead in first place with 44 points, 25 points above second place. Currently here as they are dropping over at Frag East. I don't know if Fate has been able to pick up the beacon for us. It doesn't look like it with where he's looting currently. And so maybe you're splitting Frag East here? I don't know. Let's go ahead and take a look at the minimap to see exactly what's going on. They're hard committing onto the eastern side of Frag East. Skittle Cakes has gotten tagged already. And so, yeah, they are getting contested here. And that's why Fate has not been able to pick up that ring for us. But we do have information. It is going down over towards launch site. The pings are coming down here.
And it looks like we know, or somebody's looks like they're going to opt to run north out of this fight, because this is a very smart decision. I really like this. Looks like we're actually going to have a fight over here in Geyser. 2 teams fighting right now. Geyser, Gunnas, and who's the other team here?
I can't quite remember, but it was kind of interesting because in game number 2, we remember like it was the full disengage coming up from either side as Mike Lav just ran away and ended up actually going down to another team when he was going over towards sorting. But here it is. Bubbles has been used. They try to chase that Gibraltar up top. Mike Lav finds one onto Baked Potato aim, but it is traded away. Legit now cracked as well. Good turnaround from Clinical, hitting with that repeater onto Just Feral. He gets chased down by Zora, and Legit with only a white armor swap. He does have the Mastiff though, so the opportunity is there, but you see the blue armor swap, 91, as he's trying to hit up for another shot. It's the 52. That player is down to 1 shot as he's chasing after him here. He'll have the armor swap once again off of this Raid's body. That's not taking it quite yet. It's going to be a blue shield bringing him up. Now he does go for that res.
And that's going to be a huge res there. It looks like the Horizon's going to opt to get the shield swap, get banners, and run away. Or she looks like she might challenge. Climbing on the roof right now. Zero Sleepers over in launch site. Looks like they might have a contest here. And this actually looks like, if we pull up the minimap at launch site, there's actually 4 teams in launch site right now. And it wouldn't be white to take a fight
boy.
right now. This is not going to be good. If someone takes a fight here, you're going to have one team left here at the end of this. So I hope these teams realize that and dip away and kind of stabilize. And it looks like that's what we're going to do. This is the smart play. I really like this decision here. Everyone's going to play escape with their lives and call it a treaty and have a good day.
Extended supply bin over there.
Unfortunately, Reaper, Zero Sleepers, Clarence, and Reflect, they still have a lot of economy they need to catch up on right now, as we know Shroud's still in a fight over here at Frag West. The team's disconnected, though, as the scans do come out, as Synced is trying to chase after one, might catch him out, but, oh, the timing is just not quite there. Does spot him out with when that, the scan comes out, but now, utilizing that tactical, he's going to continue to try and chase them all the way into the diner, but they have taken up that position. Don't know if they want to hard commit onto this. They could get collapsed on by the refinery epicenter or the survey team over here on the south side. Those Zero Sleepers getting hit up, as it's going to be Team Superior right above them. Reflect has already gone down just like that. Team Superior have been doing a great job of finding these early game and mid game kills. They just haven't been able to get the dub and really propel themselves up in the leaderboards yet.
And Team Superior is going to be in a great position here. It looks like they had just finished looting Lava City and rotating towards endgame here. If they can stay here the rest of the game, they'll be able to gatekeep anyone from Lava City. We got a fight over here in Geyser now. Tech Kenny taking out RKN. RKN goes down. About to goes down. There he goes. And we have Sweaty's only versus RKN Squad. I believe it's Team Season. Team Season.
Yep.
And we have two blues and a purple shield swap here.
As they push up. Decent spray from the other side as
Goodfellas
Goodfellas just tries to stand and bang goes down. And so we'll see if they can get a trade here. Light is going to try and go in by himself, but he's on the other side of the door. Hits for the 41 with that EVA 8. He does swipe back on out. Holding the position, holding that angle over the stairwell, but the nades are coming in here. He doesn't have bubble for another 20 seconds. He does pop that res just to try and bait things out. Another nade coming on in. Considering using the defensive bombardment, but they're stuck inside with you, so you got to be careful with that one now. But it looks like it might be time for that res. Nope, they're starting to make their way up as the arm shield has been cracked. Blight only has 10 HP on that white armor swap now. He's down to about 40 HP total. Massive comes out, hits for 3 pellets, hits another tech, gets the knock on to Kenny here, and here's the full commit out from the Wraith as Clean is able to get that kill. But he does go down. Sweaty's only got the gold bag reset as well. They've utilized the defensive bombardment for the reset now. So Sweaty only survived here in Tree, but here it is, the full push coming out. Oh no, it's MST, the Nox gas grenade being tossed in. The third party super fast coming out from MST.
Great third party by MST. Looks like they're just going to chase the solo down. The team was actually running from launch site to be the fourth party, but it looks like they're going to opt to run away and take the position back in zone. That was a great attempt by Team Season there. They're almost able to pull up that 2v3 there. I think Blight was about 10 HP after that fight there. It's like we have a fight over here at Trainer now. Flashpoint, and I believe this is actually, if we pull up the map at Trainer, we have 4 teams at Trainyard out of zone.
Yeah,
this is incredible.
One team playing the tunnel, one playing the big hangar just to their northeast, as you can see right now. Yeah, 4 squads. Actually a 5th one in this as well, playing the vault tunnel. Flashpoint are getting naded out as Panders forced to heal up. Oh no! The caustic gas will take him out, and he is just, oh my goodness, choking on that. Going down now. Kovsky drops to the low ground here as he gets hit up, and he will fall. And Flashpoint just not able to find these rotation timings. Those M&K coming up behind them as well. And so very similar timings coming out from Flashpoint. I believe he said, what, coming down from the countdown. We have Lava Fissure for MNK. So they just collapse over there, and MNK are able to pick up those kill points. Dude's Night Out, though, all the way here on the complete southern side of the ring, playing over by launch site now, as they do have control over this platform office currently. As you can see, all the barrels already out for Duplex.
Dude's gonna throw some nice scout shots on the team at the north side of launch site there. Looks like he's just going to be looking to level up his Evo. He does have white shield. It's going to be okay for the start of the game, but he's going to want to look to level that up for the rest of the game. he doesn't want to be caught out with a white shield for the end game, because then you're just going to be an easy target. You're going to be focused. So his main concern, or his main focus for the time being, is just going to sit up here, throw some scout shots in, level up to that blue, level up to that purple, and put himself in a favorable position for endgame.
Yeah, he's got 200 shots in that scout, and unfortunately for him, though, he doesn't have a mag on it, so it becomes difficult to try to get a knock from this range right now. But raised by Wolves in this fight over by Train currently, as throughout this, I believe they were able to contribute in the kill on Synced. I want to say was the one who went down for We Know Shroud. You can see they are just playing Gatekeeper up against the squad to their north. Flicker will commit to try and chase after them. That raid portal has gone down, but here is some additional loot for them. And already, their economy situation looks decent. They've got 2 purple armors along with the blue as well. And with being able to pick up what they have here, the bodies. Oh, MNK on the hunt. They have a Gibraltar, but Zeniles has to be careful. There we go. It looks like the rest of We Know Shroud have just been finished off.
Looks like they're able to pick up a kill and a rat there. I was very surprised to see 5 squads at Train Yard there. We saw Frex's team, and we saw Flashpoint, who are a very early rotate team, so I was very surprised to see them on the edge of zone there. Maybe they're just trying to swap out the comp here. It looks like we have Geyser Gunnas looting up in Lava City. They're going to be pretty good. Now, I think that's Prodigy Aces and the boys up on top of the hill there are going to be able to gatekeep this team pretty easily. So this team's probably going to be forced to go into the Vault Tunnel and opt for a different rotation, because this is not an easy rotate, especially without a Wraith. So
yeah,
let's see what they opt to do here. That's going to be tricky. This is one of the downfalls to not having a Wraith. You give up a lot of rotation potential mid to late game, and this is a prime example of why you need one if you choose to take this route. Rex takes a knock on
a lot of to work with. Yeah, that's huge. Hubsky going down, and might be MNK just coming in off the res to try and punish them here. They're continuing to hunt, and so that's going to be an additional kill point for MNK as Zeniles picks that one up. And I gotta imagine there's one more at least kill point for themselves. We'll see. There it is, the scan. They've spot him out in the zone currently, and they go forward and hit big as Panders will fall. And so MNK are just able to farm Flashpoint the time being. And you were also talking about maybe having to change things up, and these zones have not been favorable for MNK or Flashpoint from where they're coming on the west side of the zone, or of the map.
Now, I saw that Flashpoint swapped to the Horizon Gibby Bloodhound, so maybe they're opting to play a little more aggressive comp, take a little bit more time to loot on edge. I know MNK's main primary focus is a early rotate, but one of the things that they do well is flexing between rotating early for circles that they know they have priority on, and circles that they don't have priority on, they'll play edge like they're doing now. So from Fisher to launch site endings, it's a very far rotate, so there's no point in rotating early with minimal loot. So they're going to try and bully their way in and find opportunities to get to endgame, rather than taking the risk of not even getting to endgame. So I like this.
Doing a good job of scouting out for them as well, using that sniper scope to some pretty good effect, as it looks like the pings are going down on towards that platform, but some nobodies are current lobby leaders in a sticky situation. Fade needs to heal up, but he's only popping the the cell, and that's why he's got that gold armor protectful. Drops down just in time, but he's got the full squad above him. Raised by Wolves are in the fight over here up against MST, and MST have started this one up. Getting one knock onto Clicker as Korn now pushing forward here. Smile in a fight as well. You've been getting the knock. Team Cruelty in a fight as well, getting the knock on Cheesy Potato. But here it is, Raised by Wolves. Full commit onto this push, and they are getting punished as MNK come in from behind. This is massive. What a third party. MNK already the kill leaders is clarified, picking up more kills, but they have to be careful as they are getting shot from Sorting Factory for now. Clarify trying his best to dance around there, finds a small pocket to heal up from as Frex throws down another scan into that tunnel. They want these kill points. They want to finish off MST. Here comes the push onto 6. Hits for the 77. That's a double 77, but not so lucky there. He does fall, but no teams are really in position to try and punish this. Clarify will be able to get the res onto Frex.
I like this call by MNK to make this push. They're kind of getting sandwiched between Sorting side. They know they have 2 downs. There's no reason not to push it. Push through the gas, get the last guy, get the KP, get all the loot, and rotate out of zone to the north side of Sorting. And this decision paid out for them. And rather than panicking and kind of portaling away and not cleaning up the fight, I like the decision. Great decision making by Team MNK here.
And if they have the portal, they can elect to not just fight toward that sorting side and maybe go over to north sorting currently. There's 57 seconds left before the zone starts closing. But oh no, here comes the lurk out. Rakanishu runs right into it. Already tagged down low. And oh, he was not expecting that all whatsoever. He does survive for the time being. Some nobodies are down to a duo. And that's really the only reason why Rakanishu survived. Imagine if a third gun was there, he would have fallen. He might have been able to pick up that. But that does slow down Team Superior, who are now forced to rotate to the east side of the ring, getting scanned up from behind as well. They're going to hold this position for now. A counter scan out from Rakanishu, who is currently full health. But looks like they will be able to start running up with a little resistance as Rambo finally gets finished off. And so that's Team Flashpoint out in 13th place.
Now, I wonder why Team Superior opted to give the high ground here. It looks like MK is going to find another fight in sorting. Frex gets his shields cracked. Caustic Gas going down. Big shots on the Gibby. 3 wingman connect in a row. Clearfleet gets knocked. It's going to be a 2v2 situation. They're pretty healthy. Frex is going to pop a cell. Denials is 10 HP. Frex is going to be in a 1v2 situation. He's pretty healthy. Pops the dog. Scans coming through. And they get... Oh no, it's not the third party. Oh, it is a third party. There's another team. There's 2 teams rolling up the third and fourth party. Big shots on the Wraith there. Frex popping a cell for an extra 50 shields. Third party rolling in with a Gibby bubble. Ava goes down to Musin. There is so much fighting going on in Edge right now.
Yeah, and he realizes this is the moment that he can go for the res during this third party now, as we do have that team continuing to be hunted down. Frex is able to secure it and get that res onto Zeniles, but Zeniles needs to find somewhere to heal up now. As he pops that bat, he does have that red Evo. That'll give him 125 HP to work with, but he needs to start outrunning the zone. There we go. Runs out from it as Frex is able to full heal up. Zeniles pops that med kit as well. They lose out on Clarify throughout all of that, but still, MNK have been fragging out. They can get a top 5 finish, and this is still going to be a very, very good game for them.
Looks like they're going to opt to run towards the north launch site building there, but they're actually going to be able to opt to slide down underneath and let all these teams in sorting fight each other and let the launch site team help them gatekeep the sorting teams. Some nobodies was able to get out of vaults. They're able to survive the 3-man push from Team Superior, and they're going to be sitting pretty in zone here. If we pull up a map of the zone right now, there's 1 rat in the middle of zone, and he's going to be sitting pretty. Prodigy Aces finds, I believe, another 3-man on the edge of zone here towards dome side, and they're going to be sitting on this nice little head glitch with the Spitfire. Shots exchange it. He loses 50 damage. He's going to opt to back up. He's kind of just putting pressure on his team, first team, and creating space for his team so they can hold a lot of area at once. Rack and Katagami are going to be looking to control that tunnel side, make sure no one flanks up behind them, and Proj is going to do his job.
We have, it looks like a team fight taking place over at Northside Launch currently, fighting over that platform currently. But as we take a look from Team Smile's perspective, yeah, they have a squad below them, and you can see a lot of teams already in position over at Dome. Smile need to cut a swath through this. Might have some cover to work with as the redeploy is being used from that Geyser squad there, making their way on out. But Onmu and company doing a good job of keeping their backs cleared currently. So great peek out from Onmu, spotting out that squad below them. I think that might be a 2-man right there. They want to full commit onto this. Do they want to drop down? Timing is so tight here as the ring starts closing in, but they need to deal with this squad for the rotate, and that's what Lion's going to do. He drops down. He's taking a lot of damage. The Niles is the one to take him out as Smile are full committing onto this one now, but it might just be a grief. The Niles.
Wow.
Wipe that one up. Here comes BZF for the third party. Rex's goes down, and MNK might just get finished off here despite what they've been doing here in the early game now. Godly Daddy's coming in for the third party as well. They are just above them, making this rotate. So a lot of teams just collapsing here on the north side. We've got the Wraith portal being used as well. Prodigy Aces in a fight as he has to queue away from this one. Zone closing in, and now this is Team Superior's opportunity to try and pick up some kill points from the edges. Double bubble has been used here as they push up to this rock for a better vantage point. Kodagami is a little bit disconnected. This Prodigy Aces took a lot of damage there, and it looks like it's not going to be fortunate timing for them to try and pick anything up here. Nades do come in, but Prodigy Aces has gone down. They need to reset as Kodagami is trying to pop that bat. And they might have just put themselves into one of the worst situations now with Prodigy Aces going down. That is their movement ability out as they continue to slide forward, pop the barrels from a different cover area, but he will ultimately fall down, and it's all up to Kodagami to try and survive throughout all of this, utilizing the barrels for as long as possible. He secures a top 5 for himself, but it's Dude's night out winning out here on the northeast side. Some nobodies still alive throughout all of this. They haven't picked up that many kills, but you have to understand, they were already in first place with 44. They've picked up at least 5 points in placements and some kill points, so every single point is very crucial for them to maintain this lead.
So I believe some nobodies we have 2 kills right now, so they have 7 points on the board. If they can get 7 more points on the board, they're at that 50-point threshold, and they'll be sitting pretty for endgame. Breakfast Club here, 3-man, triple purple, Crypto, Watson, Wraith, and we got Dudes in and out with the Caustic, Gibby, Bloodhound comp. This is going to be an interesting endgame. We have 3 full teams and 1 duo. And it looks like Dudes in and out is going to be in the best position to gatekeep this circle. Everybody else has to rotate into zone. Looks like we're going to have a cluster up on the north side of circle, and Dudes in and out is just going to be able to farm all these kills of these teams rotating in.
Yeah, and Dude's Night Out doing a good job of controlling their backs as well, which is allowing Duplex to free fire here. Got all the barrels to his back, so he knows it's completely safe. Breakfast Club taking a lot of damage as they try to rotate in. Wizzy, you gotta stay forward with that ring. He goes down to it. As Rollers finds the knock onto Cheese and Potato, takes that one out, but it looks like some nobodies will go down in 4th place, so they only pick up the 7 kill points there, or excuse me, the 7 points now. And now it's down to the last 2 squads. Dudes Night Out know that they've got the advantage. Here comes the scan, only 2 teams, and the Kobe comes in right on top of them. Oh, serious help. And Z Proficiency completely disconnected now as AIDS pushes forward for the win. Dudes Night Out even gonna go for the melee finish there. Dudes Night Out take game number 3. Whew. And now, what a way for it to all happen there. It was pretty massive. Some nobodies ended up losing out on one pretty early on in the game. Still playing it out as a duo. They secured themselves top 4 with, you said, 2 kill points. So at least +7. I don't know if they picked up more there at the end. But like you said, it's important. After 3 games, hitting that 50-point threshold.
Yep. I wish we had seen Team Superior stay on the south side of the zone. They left that hill twice in that game. If they had stayed there, it makes you wonder, were they in a win condition had they stayed there and not chase KP out of their god spot? So that's one thing I'd like to see a little bit better from their end on that circle.
With 2 games left to go, we'll see if Team Superior can make that adjustment here. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we get back, we'll have game number 4 of our Series E Season 2 qualifier. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
It's Kellogg's, Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks, Corn Pops, Tiger Paws. They're Jumbo. Jumbo snacks, snack time heroes. Gonna take them on the go. Eat your cereal, magnified, showing enough for snacking time. Jumbo snacks, snack time heroes. Gonna take them on the go. It's Jumbo. It's your snacking. It's Jumbo Snacks.
welcome back, guys, to Series E. This is our third qualifier for season number 2, and we have 2 more games left to go. But in game number 3, finally someone put a stop to some nobodies a little bit earlier on, but some damage was still done. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile 1 leaderboard, see how things shape up before we head into game number 4. And some nobodies are still in the lead currently, but that lead has now been cut down to 23 instead of what was it, 25 beforehand. So, excuse me, down to 21. My math, what the hell? Okay, anyhow, we have 2 teams currently tied for second place. That's CNE and Team Superior at 30 points, and Breakfast Club now in 4th place with 28. Now let's head in to the Mobile 1 high performance moment of game number 3 there, as a lot of things were taking place, but it was Dudes Night Out. That just found some great timing. This is the finish off. They saw the trades, and this is what you were hoping for, right? Coming out from Team Superior to play a little bit more like what Dudes Night Out did in this position.
I love the way they play this endgame here. I love the disrespect with the Bloodhound Axe. The way they forced out Team Superior and forced them down low to secure the dub, clear out that entire side of the circle. It was a great play. I love the awareness. I love the smarts. They were able to punish the team and were rewarded the dub for it. So props to them.
Yeah, team. But right now, our first place team, some nobodies, doing a great job. After 3 games, they are at 51 points, and so what? They're averaging 17 points per game. With 2 more games to go, that's pretty absurd. And so, still being able to put on that +7 from that last game, turning an unfortunate situation where they lost out on a third during a rotate, but still surviving as a duo fairly well into the late game. I believe they finished 5th or 4th in that last game. They were able to recover well. And so with 2 games left to go now, time is running out for these other squads. Some nobodies are basically on a fast track to secure themselves a spot as long as they don't basically just break out of the next 2 games.
And even if they, for whatever reason, happen to break out, they still have a pretty good chance to secure themselves a first place finish. But again, they just play it slow, play it safe, don't take too many risks, just have average games. Team 4, Team 5, teams are looking to get aggressive. Teams are looking to kill other teams for some more KP because, again, people need a big game. There's a 21-point difference between first and second. People understand that. They want to take more risks. So if I were them, I would honestly play slower, take less risks, maybe even play zone, change it up a bit, and they'll be able to secure themselves a sponsorship.
And a lot of that was off the early game decision making that you highlighted in game number 3 there, where they got caught out basically over here at Frag East. They were huddled up because they were getting challenged on that 50-50. But with this spread, with the pings that are coming out, it looks like they have it to themselves currently. I don't know if Fate was able to pick up the beacon for us. It doesn't look like there's a beacon to pick up, unfortunately, but their armor situation not bad at all.
And it looks like they were able to, I guess, bully the other team, or the other team from East Frag, because I know last game they're contested. I think they kind of took East Frag, and the other team took East Frag. And it looks like they're not having those issues anymore. So that's a great kind of change direction for them. That's going to be able to allow them and enable them to have a much smoother start of the game. Because if you have smooth start of the games, it's gonna domino into usually great results towards the end of the game. Usually when you have a contest at the start, that spirals outward pretty quickly.
I'm not sure if we started off with 18 teams, but we're currently have 18 teams here as we are joining on board with Team Season. Nice purple out of that cargo bot for RKN, and picks up the 1X as well. But he does elect to pick up some snipers at the very least for himself to try a long-range damage off. 750 damage, that's what Clean and RKN need to get the red Evo shields. It's MST over here at Frag West, rolling in a fight, as it looks like the bubble's going to be used to try and get 6 closer and closer. We're trying to fight for this building, it looks like. Thermite's coming in, they do connect up top, but no damage quite yet. But good Thermite to try to buy time for them to climb up, but it looks like the jig is up. Guys, you're not going to be able to get up. You got to be careful here. But Metro is going to commit to it.
I respect it. And all of that because of one Caustic Barrel. He almost lost his life because of one Caustic Barrel. Had the Caustic Barrel not been on that door, this transition, this rotate from the green building next to them would have been a lot smoother. I like that bubble from Metro to bring over the Caustic just to save as much meds as they can, make sure he doesn't get knocked, make sure they don't push on any damage, give them any influence to push on that. It's going to be Raised by Wolves and MST. MST does have blue shields and arguably better fighting characters, so we'll see how this pans out. Do note that Raised by Wolves does have the Caustic be Caustic, so if any trades come out, it's going to be very hard to push that Caustic cast, and they're going to have to depend on their Caustics to do anything about it.
Yeah, there's about a 70 effective HP difference between the both squads right now. You have the additional fortified character coming out, and of course MST not running any low profile either here. But again, trying to push up into the high ground. There's only 2 points of egress here, so they got to be careful. And it's just going to be a neutral game coming out from MST and Raised by Wolves. I can't imagine anyone taking the initiative, but never mind. Here comes the EMP. But yeah, looks like Six got hit by something. I'm not entirely too sure what there. So he's forced to heal up and bat up.
It looks like I think one of Raised by Wolves maybe dropped to the floor and was able to throw some shots back into Six. I'm not sure exactly, like you said, what he got hit by, but the EMP goes down there. We're not able to do anything off of it, so it's kind of a waste of an EMP. And looks like we're just going to have raw 3v3, gun skills, no abilities, and they're just staying stagnant. Everyone's kind of waiting for someone to make the first wrong mistake. It's usually how you play these out. Capitalize on your opponent's
is about
mistakes.
to run out for Clicker, and I think that's what they were waiting on. MST do hear that ending here, and the bubble is going to be used early on by Metro. They want to make the climb up, but it's right into the caustic gas. He pops that one barrel, so he does take some damage here. But it looks like the war of attrition is going the way of MST. If you take a look, Clicker is down to a mag and a half. He's got the 30-30 repeater in the back pocket to work with. You don't really want to try and use that in the close range quarters fights. Like, take a look, another barrel has been set up. They're still trying to make their way on. Scans come down onto MST, still trying to find a way in. Looked like Korn might have tried to go for a kidnap, and it just did not work out. Dude's not out though now. In a fight here, Boulders has already opened up, getting one knock onto Reaper. Almost got another here as Aves is starting to chase after him, and they get the knock, and it looks like the MST versus Raised by Wolves fight finally finds something as Six gets one knock. It's traded back by Clicker. Dude's night out. They've already won out this fight as Six is able to get the thirst onto Korn. They get next knock, onto Lost, but it might be down to a 1v1. We'll find out in just a moment here as Dude's night out still trying to take the roof away as we have Rollers going for that peak on the high ground, and he does hit for the double. Blues almost got the crack there, just 2 damage off, but he's forced back himself as he gets cracked onto the low ground. And now this is awkward position as Aves has to rejoin with this team. Rollers going for the reset, and it looks like the third party came in to take out Raised by Wolves. Has MST been able to recover here? Ava pushing up, and MST go down.
And that's going to be incredibly unfortunate for MST and Wolves there. They took way too long to that fight. They both should have realized this fight's been stagnant for over 2.5 minutes, and that a team from the north side was bound to come in third party. So a little unfortunate on both teams there. Some nobodies, I think they were just able to finish fires. 6 squads, or 6 enemies detected there. It looks like there's going to be 3 teams in Overlook. Another Overlook ending. This is quite incredible. If I were an Overlook team in this lobby today, I would be doing the worm today.
Yeah, I mean, this is typically what happens, right? Whenever we have a tournament, something about the algorithm. I don't know if it's like time of day that like this gives us more of a specific circle here, but this is our 3rd Overlook ending. There's a chance, of course, maybe it goes down to no name, but more than likely, of course, it will be over here at Overlook. And some nobodies, they've been able to do put in work off of these circles. And they do have the priority timing to get over here for the rotate, and they've been utilizing it quite well. Their economy looks decent. There's a purple armor swap. Skittle picks up another purple as well. So they'll be able to play off this position for some time.
And I love this decision. I love that they're getting a spot in zone. There's 15 squads. Zone 1. Zone 1's about to close. They're at the top of the leaderboard. No point in taking any risk. I love this play. Play it slow. Play zone. Get to endgame. The spot they're in, they'll guarantee them at least a top 7 to top 8 finish from there. So they're in a really good position.
It's team Rip Texas, Decoy, Z Davis, and I Knowles who are making the northern rotate over here at Epicenter, controlling the rocks for now. But finally, Flashpoint, make a move, getting the knock onto Aves. Panders with that air burst off that nade. They're trying to push up. Fast res is used as Rambo full commits onto that one, but he doesn't even get the re-knock. Now Panders right into a thermite and the gas. He's taking away from both HP. The shields as well. Dude's Night Out have turned this around on Flashpoint, and Flashpoint now just down to a 1 as it's all up to Kupski to try and survive, but he's been spotted out and he will get finished off. Dude's Night Out, fast recovery there. And I'm surprised Rollers was able to get the full commit onto that res. Gold bag going down as well for them. They're looking pretty going into the mid game.
And that's just one of the strengths about Caustic. You usually don't want to push a Caustic team unless you have massive entry. I think Flashpoint kind of just took that fight straight 3v3 without any sort of entry damage, and were rightfully punished for that. They were forced to play on the outside, Caustic barrels inside. They could not do much, really anything about breaching those doors, and they could just walk outside. Dudes and I could just walk outside, get free shots, walk back in, and just walk in and out, and Flashpoint just couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, the timing there. I'm surprised that Rambo went for the full commit on to Aves, I believe, who was getting res throughout all of that, instead of trying to finish off the Gibraltar instead. Here's Team Superior making their way on up. They've been playing this position on the God spot, formerly T1, the high ground here just south of Overlook, and they do come over from Lava City. But this time around, their HP looks much better. They've got the purple armor for Prodigy Aces, Kodagami, and Rakinishu sitting on the blues as well. They've been doing a good job over the course of the last 3 games of finding the kill points. It's just they haven't been able to get the placement points. They're still averaging 10 points per game, currently sitting tied for second place with 30 points.
And here we have CNE looking to take a fight on the north side of Overlook here. It's like Cheesy Potato is going to look for a flank here, and they're actually, I think they're getting pinched in the back from a third party. And they're going to opt to back out of this, not take this fight. I like this idea. I like this decision making. Take it slow. Don't take this fight. It's an Overlook ending, 14 squads around. They don't have any information from the epicenter side. They just want to back it up, take some time, get some information, and then make a more reinformed and more educated decision before committing to anything.
They don't really spot out much here for the northern side. There goes down 1 ping across the way on the other side of the tracks. But yeah, doing a good job of, at the very least, just keeping their backs clear here. They're in a pretty decent spot, as M&K might be in a tight spot. There's a team right above them. The barrel's coming down now. They do have the gold armors in effect. They can trade away damage and try to wear away at this squad. Not entirely too sure who's above them currently, but as you can see, it's full control over the first floor of this building. Nade coming in, but they do have cover to work off of. Clarify will also pop that barrel. That team can't come down for free. The Clarify does dodge out from that Arc Star. Waiting as the scan comes in. Rex spots out at least that duo above them as well. Clarify is out of barrels at this point, and they got to be careful. As you can see, just to the south, there's another squad waiting in the wings to try and come in for the third party. I don't know if Niles has his port to get him out of here. It's going to be difficult to try and full commit onto this fight, as that scan gives them that valuable information. There's a team to their south. The third party is just waiting an imminent. You need to get out of here.
I like this adaptive playstyle by Frex in the crew. The great thing about this comp is you can play zone with it, you can play early rotates, and you can play edge. It's a very good aggressive fighting team. Frex is going to slide out on a Wraith, get a knock on Tech Candy. Frex goes down, Grades goes down. Rollers coming in, Aves, Rollers, using out coming in from the third party. Not sure if they were aware of the third party, but that wasn't the great decision to take that fight there if they were aware of that fight, or of that team there. Luckily, they had Clarity alive. They will throw some barrels down. They will stall a third party. Might be able to pull off a res on Frex here. Bloodhound scan's going down, popping some cells. Niles is nowhere to be found. And Clarity is left alone.
Queued out to heal up, I believe, as he was holding the stairs for now. Double barrels being popped, but unfortunately, with those doors open, he still needs to heal up. Might be an opportunity here to try and go for that res, but he spot him out through all of this gas as well. Picking away at him as Niles reconnects, but he's going up to the top floor. There's another player up there. He tries to pop that beast. We'll see if Clarify can buy enough time. He's done a lot of damage, but here comes the full entry, and Niles still stuck popping that Phoenix kit. He does have the massive, but he hasn't done enough damage. And we do have the teams just running away now. No full wipes quite yet. But yeah, Dude's Night Out getting involved in this. Smile looking to third party as well. But they don't see the trades quite yet. And they don't have the timing. It's all Dude's Night Out. Picking up the double purple along with that gold for Rolders. Duplex and reposition these barrels to control the top side. With 50 seconds left to go, though, they need to start considering how they get in with the zone.
Now, what's the strategy here? I know a lot of teams are looking to get a lot of kills. They want to close that distance between the leaderboard, but there's so many teams on edge. Is this worth it? Do you think it's better to play zone, get a few kills, and hopefully you have one pop-off game from playing zone, or do you take the risk and do this where there's 5 teams on edge here?
Yeah, I think the hardest part is that with the overlooked circles, more often than not, most teams have to commit to the zone just because of the priority times coming out from teams like the Geyser squad, the Overlook squad, the Refinery squad, and the Frag East, taking position in basically the 4 really good spots over there. And so you have no other options but to play the edge. But with 13 seconds left to go, looks like Dude's Night Out are going to elect to try and rotate to the north side and go towards the epicenter area. I don't know if their team is up there, though.
This is going to be a really risky blind rotate. Denials goes down to Sung. I think that's going to be Sung. Line actually was knocked, or was full thirsted by someone. It's going to be Sung and Onmu. They're probably not going to be able to get this res, and it looks like they're going to be able to play as a 2-man the rest of the game. They might be able to sneak a res over an overlook, or potentially at that blue bus respawn beacon near the southeast kind of area of epicenter. They're going to kind of just run into this blue zone. They might be able to sneak a spot underneath tunnel and work their way into there. Looks like they're getting gate kept from some of the top. Dude's Night Out was able to actually walk up to the epicenter cliff, get on top of this team here. 3 beams on this Gibby. It's about 50 purple damage on that Gibby. The team's going to be forced to play underneath. Yep, and they might run into a team down low. I'm not sure what they're seeing down there. But if there's not a team, they'll be in a good position for the end game. 10 squads left on zone 4 reveal.
Yeah, it looks like it was a decent bubble out from that squad to make it into the safety of there, as Aves needs that bubble himself. But like you said, we're down to 11 squads, 32 players remaining, so it's just that one duo that are currently undermanned right now. And Dude's Night Out holding the high ground position here as we, of course, predictably get that ring pull all the way over to the east towards Overlook.
Now, I'm surprised that Team Cruelty isn't too high up on the leaderboard. I believe they're in 8th place right now. They have had 3 Overlook endings, so my guess is maybe they died early, or they're just, everyone's dying on edge and aren't able to converge on all these kills on these edges because everyone's dying early, and they may not be able to get the kills to back up their placement there. So hopefully they can have a good game here and boost them up the leaderboard, because I do believe that Team Cruelty lands Overlook, and they should have a dominant position for this end game here.
Yeah, I think one of the issues with Team Cruelty is that they play so far in the center zone there. Oh, never mind. Let's talk about Milkman taking up a fight up against Decoys. Crook goes down as well, as Decoys might just get the 1v3. Ava going down, getting thirsted. Hero tries to back away with that Q, but it looks like CNE are on the hunt for him. 11 squads, 30 players remaining. CNE just completely back off. But speak to the point of what's been happening to Team Cruelty. They're playing so far deep into Overlook that the squads that are playing out here on the edges of Overlook have a better opportunity to get the free KP during the rotations. Here comes a scout out from Need Sirius, as it looks like they are going to go ahead and full send this one on up. Z Proficiency clears out the first floor, but their barrels have come down. But Sirius also does have that one angle to clear out at least one barrel. The fight is going to be a bit more difficult, though, as he's still sitting on that charge rifle. So he doesn't have the best close range to deal with as he gets tagged up throughout all of that. Cheesy Potato goes down, and Rollers will be able to finish that one off. Z Davis gets that with the Arc Star. That's going to be the entire squad getting wiped up. Rip Texas now trying to recover here, but imagine the third party should be coming in very shortly. We'll find out in just a moment. The res comes down. Doesn't look like a squad commits on to that. On board with Breakfast Club, who are in position over here at Overlook during the round 4, closing as Team Superior, playing on the bottom side of the Jungle Gym area now as Dude's Night Out have the sniper tower. They need to drop down now into this building, into the waiting gas. They have the low ground position to play off of currently. Fortunately for them, they don't have a Watts, and you can't set up everything if the EMP comes out. A lot of barrels should be getting cleared. No, the EMP. nothing for them. As Duplex and Dude's Night Out are just waiting inside their bubble. The enemy people to go down, they go out. It's gonna be fake to get the knock on to Sung. And so we have some nobody. KP here.
Looks like Breakfast Club's going to lose nades. We're probably able to get that res there. They're going to be able to probably scout a position, next rotate into the circle. I love that some nobodies is still in zone. They did not leave their circle. They did not leave their house. They're in a great spot for zone. They're able to pick up KP on this rotate, this gatekeep, and there's actually still 2 teams underneath them that they can potentially pick up even some more kills on to secure themselves some more points. Looks like Fiddlepix is going to lose his shields. Protectable is going to jump outside and die. Fiddlepix pop a bat. Fade's going to go back inside, pop a bat, and they're probably going to play it. Try and reset, pop the heals, 2, 3. Crypto EMP goes off. I believe that's a team next to them, or the team in the house next to them. Still 3 teams alive around this house. If I was Dude Nights Out, I'd probably look to walk inside with a Gibby Bubble and take that 3v2 in posture for the 2 men on the other side of the building, because I think that they knocked, or they were the team that knocked the first guy from the first team, and they're able to converge on that knock and hopefully get a better position for themselves and make their rotate into zone a lot easier for them come 10 seconds from now.
10 seconds though. There's a huge collapse on this side of the zone currently. The bubble's already been used as well from rollers, so they're not going to use it as the ring closes in. Skokakes pushes up to the high ground, catches out the horizon. That's going to be Zora. About to get firsted off, but can he get the knock onto that Gibraltar? He does, and he continues to push forward. We have Fate now on the low ground. Skittles just going for the mad scramble here, tries to go for another knock, but they do go down, and that's going to be in the top 7. Dude's Night Out here playing up on the roof as Aves gets fired down upon and has to jump into that defensive bombardment. Dude's Night Out are out. It's Team Superior. We're able to play this position up on the high ground. We're talking about Horizon versus Octane in one of our games, and this is why I think Horizon just fits so much better. You have the tactical just like that. You don't need to wait on the ultimate to get that high ground position, and here it is, Team Superior up top, but it's going to be a full 3v3v3 for this late game.
And I love that Team Superior is able to gatekeep all of the no-name. They're able to get underneath the yellow silos, use the Horizon Q to get up on the high ground. Now, my question is, what happened to Team Cruelty? Are they alive right now? It looks like we have Mike Love, Team Superior, and who's that? Oh, Team Cruelty, I believe is. Oh, there they are. There they are. Okay, that's good. I was kind of hoping that they're alive. They're in a pretty good position here. All they have to do is stall for endgame. They can sit in the building. It looks like Zone's going to actually pull out in the area between the building and the silos there. They do have a Gibby Bubble with Horizon, so they can stall a long time. I don't think Team Superior has a Gibby, so it's probably not going to look too good for them. And there's not too much cover on the top silos and the little scaffolding there. So I think Team Cruelty is in a really good position and probably has the better team comp out of the three teams in the lobby to secure the game for them.
Yeah, they've got triple red Evo as well. And they'll have the slower side of the zone to work off of here. And with the collapse coming out from both Team Superior and I believe Geyser Gunnas, who will have to drop down onto each other. They can just bide their time here. We don't know if they've got the black hole. Prodigy Aces definitely does. Does Kodagami have his Nox gas grenade? Here comes the zone closing though. This Prodigy Aces still keeping an eye on the squad below them. Excuse me, Geyser Gunners scans out from Team Cruelty, I believe. They're just waiting for this one. You can see Kodagami has already set up all of his barrels currently. Recharged only the one. You can try to throw that Nox gas grenade. You can get that one in. Headshot angle, unfortunately. Not able to hit those shots, but he does pop that barrel to slow them down. It's still the zone closing very slowly here with a minute left. Or it becomes basically just an absolute cluster as Kodagami tries to go for that peak. Still, though, we don't have either team being forced out of position quite yet, but the ring is creeping up behind Team Cruelty. They're going to be forced to just get out of cover there. As you can see, there's just a slow walk-in coming in from Team Superior. It's the full engage coming out now. Going into the jungle gym there. It's a 3-level standoff between these squads.
The good news for Team Superior is that they have a Caustic, but in Team Cruelty's defense, they have a Gibby. So it's going to come down to who's going to throw their ult first. Are they going to be able to throw the Gibby ult, allow them to get all their shields broken, and then are they going to allow Superior to live long enough to let that Caustic gas stall out and kill everyone left in the lobby? So here we are on game.
Oh, boy.
Horizon's gonna go off. Could be ultimate go off. Cluster gas going off. Nades going off. Everybody's a mile in the sky. Dome's going down. Everybody's taking gas. Horizon Q is going down.
Yeah.
Newsom's gonna go down. Yuban's gonna go in. Geyser Gunnas is actually the champion. The team that was down low actually won that game. Not sure what comp they had. I think we'll find out here in a second. I think they had a Horizon, so they were able to dodge the Horizon Qs, the Costa Gas, the Gibby ults, the bubbles. They were able to stall for longer than everyone else.
Yeah, and you know, for Overlook, these endings in the past when we had the Pathfinder, I mean, I feel like that's what it's very similar to akin to, where you would set up your zip line, and so you try to avoid a lot of the damage on the low ground, and that's exactly what happened with that Horizon Q there. But ultimately, I believe Team Superior went down in third. Team Cruelty took second, and Guys and Gunnas were the ultimate victors there. So congratulations on the game 4 win. We're going to take another short break, but when we get back, it'll be the final game of the evening, and we will be able to crown our next Series E team.
Cheese it snapped.
How's it taste?
It's so thin, crispy, and cheesy. And I just want to keep eating it. And eating it.
I love them.
Snapped. So good we may run out of cheese.
Hey, shake it, kiddo. Love that. Oh.
I've got this.
Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats. A little love when it's needed.
of the evening for our qualifiers for Season 2 of Series E. Only one spot open here tonight. Currently, our leaders for the evening, if we take a look at the Mobile One leaderboard, it is still, I believe, some nobodies. They're currently leading now. And this lead slowly getting cut into. It's cut down to 20 points instead of 21. And Team Superior are currently sitting in second place with 39. Team Cruelty, though, are within reaching distance, along with Dudes Night Out and Breakfast Club, 36, 35, and 34 points, respectively. But at this point, this might be out of the reach for a lot of teams unless they absolutely frag out in this next game, Tech. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One high performance moment for game number 4, though.
And here we are at the end game. This was a classic. You can't see anything. Give Yields, Bloodhounds. It's really the last person to stay alive. I'm not sure if this team had a Wraith at the end. So you may have been able to stall with the Q. I can't remember exactly what comp they had, but Gibby ults running down, Caustic ults running down, nades. I'm not even sure if Musin was able to stay alive and really get into the zone when everything was running down. As soon as he hit the ground, he just died to Caustic cast Gibby ults. I think that bubble disappeared almost as soon as he hit that ground, and Geyser Gunners was able to just stall as long as they could. I think they may have had one down low underneath to prevent all of this damage, just to take that, or just to kind of stall that as late as possible, and maybe that's why they were able to win this game here.
Yeah, I believe Guys and Gunners are also a Horizon squad, if I remember correctly. So they're running Wraithless, but it was all 3 squads running Horizon, and it was just an absolute cluster. There's no better way to describe what's going on here, where every ability is being popped, every nade is being thrown as well. And I mean, this harkens back to like old end games, classical end games, I guess at this point. But yeah, despite that though, our top 3 squads, between the 3 of them, there were only 12 kills between our top 3 squads in that last game. And so that did open up the window for a lot of other teams to try and pick up kill points and try to close the gap there, which is why we have a pretty packed middle of the pack currently. Team Superior, though, in second place with 39 points. Now they're the closest. Try and catch up against our leaders of the day, some nobody, still ahead of them by 20 points.
And some nobodies has been giving off a great performance today. The entire game, we're in game 5, they've been ahead of the lobby by 20 points the entire night. Assuming they don't mess up, I mean, it's almost in the bag at this point. They could die early. Team Superior could capitalize on that. They could see them the kill feed. They could go kill them early and maybe frag out for the rest of the game and finish with like a 25-point game, and that might be able to secure it. But it's pretty unlikely at this point. But it's Apex, it's BR. You never know what can happen.
And it looks like we might have had 4 teams bow out of this one. MST again in that 50-50 over here at Frag West. Tempest gets the thermite down at just the right time. The hipfire connects with that charge rifle as well. He's has the armor swap on to the white Evo. That's 6, and Tempest get the knock and the thirst, but Tempest will fall down. 6 in a 1v2 outside with Metro. As they do get that trade away, and you have to climb up, pulls out that R301. The hipfire connects, but the third party's already here. As you can see, the scans coming out as well as he's trying his best to get him up. But oh, Decoys is there, getting the knock on to 6. And Metro is the only one left standing, but for how long? Another third party coming in as well. The Einol's getting tagged up. Oh boy, too much damage there. He might actually fall. He does. That's going to be Reflect Pod getting that one. As 0 sleepers are coming in for the 5th party, I believe. If I've been able to keep track of this. And this is honestly harkening back to Capital City. He's like, take me back to Cap City. Where he would just hot drop and every team was here.
These are giving me major Season 3 World's Edge vibes. It seems like everybody kind of has the same idea. They want to pick up as much KP as possible. They want to be able to close that bridge. Might be able to get enough KP to secure themselves a top 3 finish, because it seems like getting first place is pretty unlikely. So everybody kind of has the same idea. So land central, get as much KP as you can, and hope you can frag out. That's kind of the goal for a lot of these teams.
Clarence popping off with that Bangalore right now. Gets tagged. Z Davis is there. Hits him with that massive, excuse me, with the Mozambique, as 0 sleepers are trying to re-engage on this squad. They haven't recovered his banner quite yet, forcing out that raid queue. Chasing him right into the building, hitting for flash, almost got the knock. Needs to just hit one more shot. but the railings are just proven to be too strong. Hodge swapping off onto a broken blue armor there. They still haven't picked up Clarence's banner, by the way, as they have folded it onto it. There we go. D Davis does go down to Reaper. Cruelty, though, find themselves in a fight now. Euban with the gold armor, Scissors with that blue as well. Over here by the northeast side, Harvester are in the choke. Moosin, we push forward with that Beast in the Hunt. Does have another scan in 4 seconds as it does dissipate here. And unfortunate for him, not able to find anything with this triple take. It's for the 54. Might get the knock now as Dude's Night Out are in a fight with Smile currently. Dude's Night Out also taking out Lion. Big fight going on over there. As, like you said, teams understand they need the kill points if they want a shot at this. They need to frag out. They need 25-point game, maybe 30-point game. And it's so difficult as already so many of the kill points are being gobbled up right now.
And I love this aggression and I love this confidence from Cruelty. This team might be able to turn around here. I know they've taken a lot of damage. I don't think they've had any opportunities to heal. If they're able to stabilize here in the tunnel, there's a lot of cover. They can turn this around very quickly. But it looks like they're going to opt to keep running. They must not have much at all. But Team Cruelty has to be careful now. It looks like they're treading towards zone. I don't know where zone's ending, but it looks like it might be East Frag. It might be Train Yard. It might be Countdown towards this general area. So they have to be very careful here now. But there is only 11 squads left, 12 squads left, apologize. So they might have this ability to free roam like this and punish this team. But it looks like they really want these kills.
They need them. Team Cruelty are up there. They're within reach. It's not out of the realm of possibility for them to try and sneak into first place. They are currently 23 points down, trailing behind some nobodies who are in our first place. Like I said, with 23 points, if some nobodies go down right now, they'll at least pick up 1 place point at the very least. That's big potato aim that Scissors was able to find. Pushes up. The armor swap is not enough. Euban about to get that knock. Moosin needs to heal up though on that 1 HP as Team Cruelty do pick up 3 kill points for themselves. So slowly cutting into that lead of team some nobodies.
And that's already 4 points on the board for them. To break that 20-point discrepancy, they need a win and 8 kills, assuming nobody dies early. If they can die early here, I know they might clash here because they're getting pretty close to each other. So if Team Cruelty can wipe nobody's right here, they actually have a chance to win this right here. So we'll see if they run to each other. I'm not sure if nobody's heard those shots or if they're going to opt to play zone or opt to gatekeep this team. If I were them right now, I'd just play it safe, go to zone. Don't worry about taking any fights. They just played zone. They're kind of guaranteeing themselves a top 5 finish in this lobby because, again, everyone has this mentality that they need to go around and they need to find kills for themselves.
Yeah, with the back-to-back wins that some nobodies took, it was 44 points that they got after 2 games. They've still been putting on decent performance. 7 points in game number 3, about 8 points in game number 4, I believe. They have been able to maintain this lead. No bad games for some nobodies yet. And with this final game, they're looking to secure their spot as Flashpoint. They're playing on the northwest side of Lava Fissure. They have a team in front of them. They're already committed on with that Wraith portal. Nade's not quite far enough for Flashpoint though, as Rambo tries to push up, but that squad has backed away. Might be MNK, who don't know quite yet, as they have been able to push in, and it looks like it will be quite possibly either Countdown or Lava Fissure ending. Prodigy Aces finds a knock onto Clarence, and so Team Superior, our second place squad, oh boy, have already lost out on 1, but they do pick up that team fight win. Another very valuable 3-point team fight win for another squad that are within reach of first place.
Penner's going to take this cheeky little climb up here. Cupsy's popping a Phoenix. I believe they have Watson, Crypto, Wraith inside. So this is going to be actually a pretty easy fight for them. Rambo actually goes down on the Crypto. Crypto actually made a huge challenge. Penders gets healthy. It's going to be a 2v3 situation. Cupsy throwing in some shots with the Havoc. He doesn't see them. Cupsy gets down to about 70 HP. Penders trades with him. They're both don't have shields now, and this is not looking favorable for them. They get EMP'd. This might be the team inside's EMP. This is not looking good for Flashpoint right here.
Yeah, luckily for Panders, the bat finishes after the EMP, so he gets the full value off of it. Wizzy's on the roof, though. Challenges and takes out Kupski. Panders now left by himself. It's a 1v2 outside, and he will fall. We'll see if Breakfast Club can recover on Box of Tea, but how unfortunate there. It's Team Superior now over here at Train Yard. No scans, or excuse me, no one coming up on that scan. Prodigy Aces gets tagged all the way from Lava Fissure. They do have a team below them though, making the rotate. Prodigy Aces, and with the help of Rakanishi trying to get that knock, but the squad's over from Lava Fissure on the south side, making it difficult for them to find these kill points.
And I love this level of aggression by Team Superior. Prodigy's gonna get a different angle on them. He's gonna throw down the ult. They're gonna be stuck inside the bus. If that team doesn't leave the bus, they're gonna be in a bad position right here. That bus is very easy to breach. If you have lots of nades, you can do a lot of damage. You can punish that team to a point where they're gonna die, or they're gonna be forced to run towards the south side of Lava Fissure, where there's a good chance that they can get pinched there.
Oh boy, Rakanishu by himself. He's disconnected. Prodigy Aces is trying to come back to help him out, but Scissors is able to pick that one up with the help of some nobodies coming in, also getting the knock onto Team Team Cruelty. Here comes the res though onto Scissors with that bubble, and it is the gold bag res as well, so he's ready to fight if he needs to. But then he backs off some nobodies, trying to take their destiny into their own hand, get rid of two of the problem teams, and Team Cruelty along with Team Superior. And this might just be it. This might be them securing their spot here with these kills.
And I don't think they've picked up any kills yet, so they've only gained 2 points this game. I know Team Cruelty have had 2 team wipes. They have 6 points, or 6 kill points with 2 placement points. They have 8 points on the board. They need to find the rest of the lobby, and they need to honestly look. They need to look to fight some nobodies, kill them, stop their momentum, stop their points, or they're not going to have a chance to secure the finish for tonight.
Yeah, some nobodies are close to securing almost another 3 points off of placements alone, I believe, by hitting 7th place. Just a moment. 8 squads, 22 players remaining here, as we do have the circle continuing to pulling on over to countdown. We haven't had the beacon quite yet, just because there's been so much fighting taking place, Tech.
And again, it all comes back to everybody needs to fight. There's about 4 teams on the side of Trainer right now. Horizon queuing on each other. I believe it's Team Cruelty, and I believe it's Dudes Night Out over in Trainer. They're duking it out right now. And yep, Dudes Night Out, and some nobody's just going to be able to get free shots in the back from across the map with a charge rifle. And they're sitting there happy right now watching these 2 teams duking out. I believe Dudes Night Out was in 4th place, so they're another contender for tonight. So this is just perfect for some nobodies watching this go down.
Yeah, and if these squads get taken out, the only other squad that can really contend up against some nobodies would be Breakfast Club, who are sitting pretty in the middle of Lava Fissure, but not able to pick up any kill points. Duplex drops down. They get the knock onto Scissors. It's a 3v2 fighting outside the bubble. Duplex does get dropped by Yubin for Rollers to be able to trade that one back. They've got the bubble res as well, and Team some nobodies not really in position to try and punish this. As you can see, it looks like Protectful tried to find an angle, but that's going to be the reset coming out from Dudes Night Out. But some nobodies understand exactly the situation they're in. If they can get rid of this squad, if they get rid of Dudes Night Out right now, this would just be the tournament win for them.
And if I was some nobodies right here, honestly, I think I would make the call to go push through to clean this team out. And I think if they were to do that, that would secure the dub for the night. It looks like Dupe is going to bleed out to the ring, so they do know it's a 3v2. There's 6 squads left. They can safely bet that's an isolated fight. If they leave Dupe to res, or if they don't push that, they risk resing Dupe, and they can come out, frag out, kill the rest of the lobby, and potentially still win. It's unlikely, but it could happen. And it looks like they're going to opt to not take the risk. They're going to play zone. They're going to get into countdown or Lava Fissure, play it safe. This is the safe bet. I like the play. I like the play.
Yeah. They secured themselves at least a +3 on the placements alone, and so that makes it that much harder for a team like Dudes Night Out to catch up at this point. As some nobodies, they do have the entire south side of Lava Fissure to themselves with 7 squads remaining, 19 players. You have to remember, getting this win is basically like getting an OT win at this point. You're securing $750 per player for, what, 3 months? That's $2,250 a month for the team, $6,000 across the season. That's basically an OT win, along with taking the +700 for first place tonight. And so a lot is on the line for this squad. So I completely agree with them playing this safer.
Yeah, this is the safe bet. You know, they could, kind of swallow their pride. You know, they could finish on a grand note. You know, a win with 15 kills, but play it safe, be humble, and just secure it. And you'll be happy with yourself securing $750 a month for 3 months. some exposure, because this series is great for exposing unsigned players and unrecognized talent to the top pro level.
We do have the ring scan coming out from Nades as well here for Breakfast Club, and they're in. Well, I called this the two brains one player one controller spot actually last week, playing the train tracks over here by Trials.
Yeah, it does look like they're able to
squads.
res dupe over in Countdown. They were able to get his body, so they potentially still could do it, but with teams dwindling down, it seems the margin's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. They might be able to pick up his 3 KP here in Countdown if they can wipe the spot, get these kills. Be huge nade on Ames, cracks the shields there. They're probably gonna be able to be reset. They're probably gonna pop the dog, go in and take this 3v3. It's probably an isolated fight. There's Teams Trials, Team Fisher. If they win this, they should go to Lava Fisher and they should hunt down some nobodies and potentially can secure it. So I'm not sure how many kills they have right now, but I think they have 2 squad wipes, so around 5 to 6 kills is what I'm thinking. So it's still possible.
Scan comes out, and he's gonna have to, Nades come out, and he hasn't been able to grief that door quite yet. The thermite landing just short of it as well. Dude's night out are reconsidering this. Looks like A is gonna have another throw at this. We'll see if his arm is long enough to connect. And this time he will be able to grief the door at the very least to make this entry a little bit easier. They pop that beast to the hunt now. They want to make their entry on in. We're down to our top 6 as well as Need Series Help gets taken out. See how quickly they try to clear that black hole, and Duplex is in a lot of trouble there. Does get hit up, but we do have Rolders using that defensive bombardment and actually connecting with it. It's going to be Geyser Gunners on the other side. Mike Lav, the first one to go down as Rolders picks that one up, and they do want to finish this one off quickly here as they push up. That is being popped by Aves here in the 3v2. Dude's night out, get another knock onto Clinical, and it's now down to a 1v3. Dude's night out, win that one cleanly. He'll be able to get the reset, but here comes the third party from the other side. Rook is able to get the knock with a Spitfire from range, and unfortunately for them, that is the Gibraltar going down, so no fast res in play, as some nobodies, they want to take advantage of this entire situation here. They want to get rid of the last remaining vestiges of competition basically left in this lobby. Here's Skittles throwing down every nade into this fight, cutting one off. Fate has been dropped down low. They secure the thirst onto Rolders as Protectable picks up Aves as well, and Dude's night out are just down to a solo, trying to wait this out in the corner, and they are out. Some nobodies with only really nobody left in this lobby to try and contend against them for this win might have just done it. I think we still have Breakfast Club alive, but it might be mathematically impossible for them to sneak in the last-minute victory here to take away first place.
I think it's pretty much mathematically impossible at this point. I haven't seen Breakfast Club doing anything crazy in the kill feed. That was great awareness by some nobodies right there. They're all the way in South Lava Fisher, and to converge on Duplex and Aves and Rolders fighting in Countdown was a great call, great awareness, and that secured it for them for the night.
Yeah, it looks like mouse and keyboard trying to make this push, losing out on one, doing a huge favor for some nobodies to finally finish this one off. Zaniles will be able to get that last hit with a massive and get that kill, and the squad wipe. Breakfast Club are out. Calling it right now. Some nobodies have taken the win. We're down to our final 3 squads now, as it's just formalities at this point. Milkmen rotating into the north side of this ring currently, and the port will be utilized by the rest of the squad. A great angles to play off of here, and that allows some nobodies free real estate here on the southeast side of the zone. They'll have to move in for this final circle.
Now, depending on how many kills MK has picked up this game, I believe they were in 7th place prior to this. They could pick up a bunch of kills and finish top 3. So now he's going to lose his shields. He's down to 50 HP. He's going to pop a bat. Clarify goes down. Rex is in a 1v3 situation. Janelle's popping a bat. He's going to have to, I believe, 1v2. Oh. I apologize. I was watching
It's all right at this point.
I was
some nobody.
I was watching the stream. I apologize.
I'm glad that you're still on top of it though. Like, you know, you've got like the sense to be like, oh, actions are going on. But right now, not much action is going to be taking place. Both towards the north, we have a team, looks like on the high ground as well. One of the milkmen were able to get there. That's going to be Hero. We have some nobodies running the southeast side. And then, of course, we have M&K that are playing a rock there. Nice angle from Skittle Cakes. Is he able to free fire an entire clip into that? Almost got a knock, but he has to back away as the Trials team is doing so much damage to him. Whew. Bait does survive as well, but he's forced to pop that Phoenix kit as we just have that 3-team standoff. Some nobodies going to set up this portal a little bit early to get themselves onto this rock position, but that's going to leave themselves vulnerable to that Trials team. But they can wait this one out. Maybe wait for that drop down from that player. That's Hero playing on the high ground.
Now, it looks like M&K is probably the favorite team to win this. The team on the high ground is going to have to drop and force a fight on nobodies. And they're going to just take a lot of damage to nobodies. Protectful actually beams and Niles, and that's not going to be good. He's going to take the kit, he's going to take the portal, throw some gas down. Team on Trials is probably going to agree with him. That was huge shots by Protectful there. Skittlecakes popping the bat. Fade's going to go down to gas. Protectful's down to 10 HP. It's going to be up to Skittlecakes. Quick takes out gas. Rex takes down Protectful. And there it is. Some nobodies gets third place, but they've secured the first place for tonight. It's going to be a 1v3 situation, 2v3 situation here. It looks like the team from Top Trials was able to secure the rock up here. And Clarify is going to be left in a 1v2 situation against Hero and Ava. Nice shots by Ava there to secure the first place for Milkmen.
Yeah, Milkmen get the last win of the evening, but it should be some nobodies. We saw everybody falling before them, at least picking up third place. Don't know how many kill points they got, but that's going to be a +7 at the very least, along with whatever kill points they got. And so I'm just going to go ahead and congratulate them now for securing a spot in Series E. But of course, I have to allow the admins to do their job. We're going to take a short break while we tabulate all the results. When we get back, we'll be able to announce our top 2 of the evening. And of course, our ultimate winners securing a spot in Season 2 of Series E right after this. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Imagine you love frosting and filling.
I do love frosting and filling.
Oh, well, imagine if there was a way to enjoy that delicious goodness anywhere, anytime, out of the toaster, out of the box, out of one of those baggy thingies, with nothing but a thin layer of foil between you and...
Pasta.
Yes, Curtis. This is a commercial about pasta.
I love it.
Frosting and filling for your pasta.
I like pesto.
Welcome back, guys, to Series E. As it looks like our admins are done with tabulating all the results, and we'll have that in just a moment. I'm pretty sure, though, some nobodies have absolutely secured their spot. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One leaderboard, as some nobodies will end up securing their spot in Season 2 of Series E, 71 points, and very impressive job across 5 games, and it's going to be Dudes Night Out who end up taking second place there. That will be $300 that Dudes Night Out at least earned, but that's not going to be a spot in Series E. Unfortunately, they're going to have another go next week, Tech. And let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One high performance moment of that final game. As this is a pretty this was the call coming out from some nobodies trying their best to get involved in these fights, really keeping track of the kill feed about who the target priorities are and getting involved.
Now this was a safe call to take it back. Played slow. They were able to get the kill on Dupe, but they didn't want to chase and risk anything. But it didn't matter because in the end they were able to go third party them later over at Countdown and secure the sponsorship for themselves. So I like the awareness, I like the risk analysis, and I like the safer decision making. And it paid off.
Yeah. And they ultimately win with a 22-point lead as well. And so they could have, I think they could have just full inted on this and still won the tournament. But like you said, you also need to kind of get that experience when it goes into later ALGSs. This was only a 5-game format. You know, when you have the 6-game format, when you have the match points for the playoffs as well, these are all things you need to consider. So it's all about always putting your best foot forward. Some nobodies are going to do that, and especially off the winning position. That was really nice for them.
And like you said, they showed up. They had a dominant performance today. They had a 22-point lead going into, or they finished with a 22-point lead, but they had a 20-plus point lead the entire series today, which is very impressive. Teams from second place to sixth place were all very close. I think sixth place had like 42 points and second place had 49. So it was a very consistent performance across those 5 other teams. So kudos to those other 5 teams as well.
Yeah, it was a really big scramble for second place at the very least. So Dudes Night Out, once again, congratulations on taking second place. And welcome to Series E, some nobodies. We will be having the draft show for that, of course, in a couple weeks. We have one more spot, I believe, left open for the qualifiers here. That will be taking place next week. Again, Tuesday is when we'll be going live for that. So I reckon we'll see these same squads once again next week, trying to vie for that final spot in Series E Season 2. Tech, it was a wonderful experience being able to cast with you today. I loved being able to get your insights and everything as well. So thank you so much for joining. Do you have any final words before we close out the show?
Yep. Thanks for having me, Series E. Thanks for helping me with my first time casting a professional tournament. Shout out to some nobodies. Perfect, great, dominant performance. And I'll see you next time.
All right, so that's going to do it for us. So from all of our partners here at Series E, for everyone at Esports Arena, and all of our players, from Tech and myself, thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next week here for another Series E qualifier. So make sure you're following us all across the socials. Hope everyone is going to stay safe and have a great weekend. Have a good night.
imagine you love frosting and filling.
I do love frosting and filling.
Oh, well, imagine if there was a way to enjoy that delicious goodness anywhere, anytime, out of the toaster, out of the box, out of one of those baggy thingies, with nothing but a thin layer of foil between you and...
Pasta.
Yes, Curtis. This is a commercial about pasta.
I love it.
Frosting and filling for your pasta.
I like pesto.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach! Cheez It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.